a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Well, Kyle Draper is on his way to L.A. with the Kings. We'll hear from him at some point today, and we'd love to hear from you as well. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. So Jay and Whitey today. And Jay, I know that there are a lot of fans today who are a little bit disappointed but feeling optimistic about how well the Kings did this or that. See ya, Alan. And I understand that, Jay. And I got to tell you, I'm not here for that. I'm not feeling that. I understand it, and I'm not saying this is terrible. I'm not saying, oh, it's all – they're not even going to make the playoffs. The season's over. What I am saying is the Kings kicked one last night that they should have won. And if they're going to be a good team, and I think they are, those are the types of games they have to win. And I think we're further along here in the arc of being fans. I think we're further along than to be, oh, golly, well, they lost, but, boy, there were some nice things. They should have won that game, Jay.
I like where you're going, baby. You're standing on 2 feet today.
Yes. Let's
I like
go,
it.
huh?
Higher expectations mean greater rewards, and better goals means a little more success, right? And so, yeah, I'm with you. This is not a whole hum day for me. This isn't a, you know what, man.
Look at all the good things they did. That's all fine and dandy if you want to slice it that way. I don't.
Yeah, I got it. But I'll say this. This is the other part, and I can't be a hypocrite. And if Drapes was here, I'm pretty sure he's going to say something of the sorts. It's still early. I know you heard that me for the 49ers. We're talking about game one. You know, we'll definitely have a bunch of sound today, but I'll go back to the post game of DeMar DeRozan sitting next to you. One of the things that caught my ear was he was like, I was trying to let other guys get into the rhythm, you know? And so to me, we also heard Mike Brown talk about, and I'm pretty sure we're definitely going to talk about this, is rotations and times and minutes to the starters versus some of the guys off the bench. Sitting there next to you, had the opportunity to sit next to you during the game. And one of the things that we talked about,
everyone was between us.
Yeah, well, we marshmallow guys like that, man. Sit in the middle, bro. You know, you the marshmallow with a cracker. But yeah, we let him sit in the back seat. But yeah. But the other part of that, is we looked around about Kevin Huerter's minutes. We like, oh, McDermott jumped out there. There were a few different things that we had some good banter back and forth. And so if we're thinking about it, Mike Brown thought about it. So I say all that to say this, Whitey. It's early, first game, but that was a game they should have won.
Yeah. They had leads built up and they weren't able to keep them. And again, I'm not saying, find the panic button. This is terrible. Oh no, I'm just saying, wow.
See something next to you. Is that a red button?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't put it there if it is.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you're looking at this little mini pumpkin here. I don't know. No, I'm just, it's a little disappointing. That's all. That would have been a great win. And yes, they have another game tomorrow and there's plenty of time to straighten things out. But it's a big game. Every game in the West is really big. And they had double-digit lead in the third quarter. So they got some things to figure out, obviously, onward and upward. I think the best news, and there was a lot of good things to come out of last night. I get that. We'll talk about some of those. But the really good thing is something Drapes talked about yesterday when we were at Beachhead Deli, and thanks again to Troy and everybody for having us out there. Thanks to Tin, everybody for coming by, and Jason. But the best news is you look at the schedule after you play the Lakers, like, ooh, there's some wins in there, Jay.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there better be, but it sure looks like it.
Well, and I think that's part of what you started this show is the wins have to also come against the caliber of the Timberwolves. They also have to come into the caliber of the Lakers. They got to come with the teams of the caliber of the Dallas Mavs and the Boston Celtics. And we know this team, but I'm going to stop talking about last year because guess what? This year has begun.
Yes.
So I'm not going to talk about how the Kings lost to the Pistons and all that type of stuff. I'm just saying, starting with this year, let's put our foot in the ground, put our foot in the sand, and request and hope and ask that this team steps up and wins games like last night against good teams that we know are going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you raise a good point. I don't know if you meant to, but you brought up something interesting in my mind. That loss last night, I'm not saying it was just like last year. It's just like the loss to the bad team. No, it was nothing like that. It's just a chance to grab a win, get off to a great start. and they had several leads, and they weren't able to finish the deal. I read something somewhere. Somebody said the only thing the Kings can complain about is that they didn't finish. And that's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
That
means a lot.
That's true. They didn't finish, but that's a big dang thing. And I know, speaking of the finish, and now we're really getting into the nuts and bolts of it, sitting with Jay last night, Jay was not a big fan of that last play. I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but I know you weren't happy when we first saw it.
Yeah, by the naked eye, I was like, that's what we came up with, fellas. That was the best thing we drew on one of those plastic clipboards over there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come in until post Mike Brown, and you kind of gave me the synopsis of what Coach Brown said, and I'll actually pull it up so we can play it. But no, by the first, watching it, sitting down, looking at the play, I didn't digest it properly, and I didn't really like the shot they got. Now, of course, Keegan pump faked, and that made the shot look a little worse. If he would have went straight up and took the first opportunity, maybe it would have looked a lot better. But I thought it was just too far away from the basket. The other part was we're at home, and, this is the other question that you always ask, go for the win, go for the tie.
Right.
I'm always go for the best shot. That's me. That's what I normally say. But I'm also the type of guy, and maybe I was just being I guess I'd say
you
I
were
was
disappointed.
And I'm trying to work my way around it, but I was definitely disappointed, and I was definitely looking for something a little bit better. Especially, this is the first game. These are the things that you guys have drawn up. These are the things that you worked on. And I get it. The opposite person, you could say the opposite. Well, this is the first game. It's not finely tuned. And I think that's what Coach Brown said. But also at the same time, this is an opportunity to showcase, not only fans, but the Timberwolves and your own players. This is something that we can, build upon. This is something that we want to look better than not. And I just thought it looked like,
I thought the timing, the timing was a little bit off on it. I thought, remember when they started to play, you had Malik and Keegan. They started their moves to the basket. They actually were the two primary receivers, if you will.
Yeah.
And they started up top and they drive to the basket and loop around. And remember, they started and then the official hadn't given the ball to DeMar DeRozan yet. So it's like, oh, come on. I think the timing was a little bit off. And I know we're going to hear from Mike Brown at some point. He just said they didn't execute it quite right. They got a halfway decent shot. If, to your point, if Keegan hadn't had to double clutch, but he had two guys flying at him. Here's Mike Brown, the way he broke down that fateful last attempt last night after.
Yeah, and it's great for us. We've gone over the play a couple of times. I think you all saw Keegan was wide open. There was just DeMar has a series of reads, and by the time, and it's a little new for him because we've gone over it. We haven't really necessarily done it. I think we've done it live, did it live once, but we've walked through it a ton. And so when it's live, especially with no timeouts, you're trying to look at every read. And I think if he could have, if we all had a better feel on it, and there was a little zip on the ball, I think Keegan would have got a clean look from the 3-point line. But it was lobbed a little bit, which allowed, I think, Naz Reid to recover. He took one side dribble. And maybe Ant, I think, went over there. He was smart. He knows 2 seconds you're not going to be able to move the ball, especially after taking a side dribble. And so he contested it too. So decent look for us running it the first time live. And I think we'll be better in that situation. But great job getting guys open, because Malik was open too for, I think, a split second.
It was almost a version of the hammer play. And my point is, it's a difficult. I
haven't heard that in a while.
It's a difficult pass to make.
It is cross court and flat,
Mm-hmm.
not with an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Brown talked about that.
Yeah. So,
but did you see? Let me ask you, Whitey. And I get it, Coach Brown press conference, not as they like the coaches say, I got to go back and look at the tape. He didn't say that. So I kudos to Coach Brown on that. But he said Keegan was open, and maybe he was open before the play started. Like I didn't see where Keegan was open, even on the first attempt going up. And Coach talked about it. Anthony Edwards kind of dropped back, sagged back, Naz as well. And Keegan took the initial sidestep dribble. But was he ever open?
I think he meant he was open like a split second before DeMar threw the ball.
Figured
to him.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
The delay.
The shot certainly wasn't open. I think that's what he's saying. Either that or if the ball had gotten to him on time, it would have been an open shot. I didn't really have a problem with the play, although it's kind of tricky there. And maybe he's defending DeMar by saying, we ran it once live. So that's kind of a lot to ask of somebody, right? Like we walked through, that's the first time we ran it. But anyway, that's, how it is. Yeah. It would have been nice to see that go in. It almost did go in, but that's hardly where they lost the game.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just, you look at key plays and key points throughout the game. And,
well, just think if it had gone in, how excited everybody would be today and how different the tone would be in town if it.
Yeah, but I know we'll have discussion a little further. 916-339-1140. Has the tone changed already?
No, but it would certainly be different today.
And the fact because they won,
it would be going berserk.
Like I haven't heard. Well, I take that back. I just walked in and heard someone say it. But have you heard? Same old Kings. Have you seen that on social network? Have you seen any less excitement? Like I haven't
Not
seen
really.
that.
That's what I say. I've seen a lot and heard a lot of people saying, a lot of good
tough
things,
one,
which is great.
Yeah, tough one.
Yeah,
opening day, and one thing about it is the NBA didn't do the Kings no favor with starting with the Timberwolves. It was a great team last year, and again, we're talking about something that's different because Julius Randle came and performed. He wasn't on the Timberwolves last year. So it wasn't like, we could talk about his play last year for the Timberwolves, but I just thought the Kings had plenty of opportunities to get the W, albeit the last play, albeit giving up a couple of 10-0 runs, albeit, not taking as many threes as the Timberwolves did. There's many different key statistics we can point to, and we're going to talk about them, but I just thought it was a tough loss. They played well at certain times. Certain times they didn't. And naturally, when you play teams like the Timberwolves, if you don't have it all together, they'll, as we've seen, and Edwards will lead his team with a little assistance from Naz Reid and Julius Randle, and you'll take their loss at home on opening night.
Last night after the game, and it was just before you made it in there, Mike Brown was looking at the box score and trying to explain everything. And it's interesting sometimes when you see coaches do that because they're literally processing what they see. Sometimes they have something in their head and then it's like, is that really what happened? Anyway, my point is this: when he was talking about Julius Randle and he was saying, I thought we did a pretty good job at times. And then he's looking at Julius Randle. He goes, if he's going to make 5 of 6, there's nothing you can do about that. If he's going to make 5 out of 6 threes, he's tough to stop. I thought one reason Minnesota got so many open threes, they made 40%, 20 of 50. The Kings had to do they had to focus so much on helping, if not doubling down on the bigs. And then, there's you can't be two places at once. So Minnesota did a good job of finding the open shooters, and they did a great job of knocking them down. Dante DiVincenzo's money last night.
Yeah. Let me ask you something.
Actually, he was 1 for 6.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. What he was
he made a big one.
Yes, because I was getting ready to say he didn't really have a great shooting night, but I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
When it counted, he showed up. Also, and this is the other part, this is what makes players a lot better than sometimes perception is it felt like he had a decent game last night. It felt like when the chips were all on the table, Double D was doing his thing, and I'm not talking about DeMar DeRozan.
Right.
And so I get where you coming because watching the game, it was like,
he had 9 points.
This dude was everywhere.
Yeah.
It felt like he was everywhere at points and times, and he was in the mix. He was talking big head to a couple people. He was making sure that his presence was felt.
That's why I like the fact that the Kings early on, they did take the fight to Minnesota. And they were up 3 into the first quarter, but they came out with a lot of energy, that energy that we haven't seen in the preseason. And I know that doesn't matter now. Preseason's done. It doesn't matter. But it was nice, a little bit of a relief to see that. One of the things we have to wonder about here, in my opinion, is to what extent can the Kings get away with continuing to play DeMar DeRozan on the other team's 4? And I was going to maybe ask him about that last night, but I realized that was not a good time to ask him about that because Julius Randle destroyed him. And Julius Randle, the way he shot the ball, would have destroyed a lot of guys last night. But if the Kings can continue to do that, and obviously it depends on the matchups, but if DeMar DeRozan can do a decent job playing against 4s, that just opens up so many other things for you defensively. Another problem last night, Jay, and not to, belabor the negatives, but they did lose. But, we went from who's going to be the 2 guard, Herter or Keon, boy, they both bring a lot. Last night, neither one of them brought much at all.
No, I will say this, though. I thought Keon didn't get so much as a fair shake when it came to just playing. And he played 11 minutes. You know, that's box score watching. I believe he had the worst plus minus, right? Or was it Trey Lyles? It was one of the two.
The two of them combined for like minus 26.
Yeah, something like that. But they did actually, right on point. The part of that, though, for me was I thought Keon didn't have the opportunity to kind of stretch his legs.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Herter had a longer period of time playing in the first quarter than I would have probably went. I know Malik and Keon both came in at the same time, somewhere around the 3 minutes, 3 minutes left in the first quarter mark. And I felt that he didn't get just due last night, and coach talked about the minutes, and we'll play the same. So I know this is the first game, but isn't that what the preseason's for? And I know that's the other part. I know injuries have played a part in that because Trey Lyles hasn't been there, Kevin Herter. But for me, albeit if Kevin Herter, this was his first go around, then why in the hell was Keon Ellis not playing more than Kevin Herter? Like, allow Kevin Herter to stretch his legs a little more in the form of rounding back into shape, getting that shot, getting that shot going, where Keon's been rocking for the last season and a half, So I just kind of felt that Keon maybe could have got a little more time, but
you're right. 11 minutes. And
retrospect.
Yeah, you could look a lot of the things from last night. You can put a happy face on them, and rightfully so. It's like, well, they lost, but DeMar DeRozan played well. Well, they lost, but hey, look at the night that Keegan had. So many people had said he was not going to get enough shots with DeMar DeRozan on the floor, and they built up a big lead, and they did a lot of good things. The one thing that you can't put a happy face on, to me, is what you're just talking about there. When you have Keon playing only 11 minutes, and then after the game, you have Mike Brown saying, yeah, the minutes really show I'm not comfortable with my rotations. And what he's saying there is he doesn't trust the bench players, right? Now, Malik had a fine game, 17 off the bench. But other than that, as you say, Jay, Keon Ellis played 11 minutes, Trey Lyles, little less than that. Alex Len played under 6 minutes, and Doug McDermott played 5.5. So you had major minutes for DeRozan and Keegan and Domas and for De'Aaron Fox. And for the coach to say, yeah, that's something I need to work on. I know we'll be talking more about it today. To me, it just shows that he doesn't have a ton of faith in his bench right now. And you look at the contributions Minnesota got off their bench. The Kings bench, they got blitzed last night.
Yeah, they did. They really did. And it's I don't want to say that he doesn't trust his bench just yet. I'm going to lean on the form of the injury.
That's a good
bug.
point. That's
Fair.
Trey
Lyles, Kevin Herter being banged up.
That's right.
A couple of guys also being banged up. We talked about J-Mac, Jordan McLaughlin, who was a DNP CD last night. He's been banged up as well. I'm going to go that way. I know a couple of the other players were ill at some point in time here during the preseason, not so much as hurt, but ill at the same time. I think it's one of those things, and this is my argument to people who always say it doesn't matter who starts the game, it's about who finishes it. Yeah, BS, because it does matter who starts the game.
All the minutes count.
Absolutely. And so sometimes when you kind of hear people, to try to make, and it's the statistic analysis that I always talk about. You can conjure up any stats to make your argument. And so I think that's part of it when it comes to, who starts versus who finishes.
Jay, not to interrupt, but to your point, as you're talking there, I think, you have to realize that typically the guys that start are the ones who finish. Yeah, that's
more times than not.
Usually they're your best players.
Yes. Yeah. -1, maybe, -1 plus 1, add 1, subtract 1. Yeah. So
I get your point.
I'll go to the form of injuries last night kind of caused Mike to not have his full arsenal of guys and be comfortable with those guys. But 11 from Trey Lyles, minutes, 11 from Keon Ellis. Of course, Malik Monk is the guy that's going to be leaned on a lot as the 6th-man candidate of the year, 26. Len and McDermott, 6 and 6, though. Like, I almost forgot Dougie Buckets was on the team. Then when they were like, oh, Doug McDermott coming, I was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. We did sign him. Yeah. You know what? The Kings did sign him. He is a ball player. Matter of fact, let's see what he does. He didn't waste no time getting no shots up. He getting his first 3-pointer, which he missed, but he only shot the ball once. That was the
I got to be honest. I was surprised he missed. I was buying into it. Yeah, like, I thought like I never
thought he was getting ready to bury that
That's
thing.
Not fair, but I was expecting Boom.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it.
I think so.
Yeah. But off the bench, you had 3 from Trey, 3 from Lynn, 2 from Keon, and, of course, 17 from Malik Monk. That's not getting it done right there. That's 25 points. 25 points compared to, 19, 9, and 9, and Minnesota only went 9 deep. So the Kings played a few more guys. But, I just think, and Coach said it, and we'll play it maybe next segment, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to lean on that bench a little more. I think we might have figured out who's the backup center, Alex Lynn. Who knows when O-Rob, again, speaking of injuries, Orlando Robinson coming back. But I wanted to see Keon play a little more.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Let's see what some of the smartest listeners in radio have to say on the text line here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From the 916, I know the Kings like Murray as a defender on Edwards, but having DeMar try and match up with Randall is asking way too much. It's something they're keeping an eye on. And it was just, when, as Mike Brown said, and as we mentioned earlier, when Julius Randle's knocking down 5 of 6 from beyond the arc, he's a handful anyway. But at that point, you just got to throw your hands up and say, I give. 831 says, this sounds like a broken record and ain't the main reason why they lost, but the squad also missed some impactful free throws. That's from Trey. They got to the line a lot, and overall, they did a really good job there. Definite improvement.
What percentage were they?
They were 28 to 35, which is 80%.
Yeah, that's not bad, man.
Right. Malik missed one. That's the only one I can think of.
And maybe Trey's talking about that. I get it. But, fellas, listeners, young ladies, men, women, kids, children, I'm not talking about last season no more. Yeah, all of that. Lizards and turtles. It's a new season. Mm-hmm. Last night, they didn't do that bad at the free throw line. As you just said.
They did very well.
Malik missed the one that was like, that was costly. Right. Minnesota missed a couple. Gobert could have iced it almost. Mm-hmm. He missed one too.
But you and I both said he's going to miss one.
He's going to miss one.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that's what Trey is saying. Like, oh, man, here we go. Going to the line. These guys are going to miss one. But 80% is not bad. At one point in time, it was 82%. I remember talking to you. I was like, hey, listen, it's not bad right here.
Right.
We can live on this. And the one thing about it is they're going to be better because of DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, and they got to the line 35 times to only 17 from Minnesota.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, yeah,
man.
that's an encouraging trend. 916. Amadrox says, I hope Keon doesn't get the Davion treatment with limited minutes and inconsistent playing time. I think he's already had too much of an impact for that, Amadrox, but we'll see. Yeah, 11 minutes wasn't much last night. And from the 916, how is it possible to give up an 11-point lead in like 52 game seconds in the third quarter of an NBA basketball game? Yeah, that's a great question. I've been kind of wondering about that myself today.
Yeah,
too.
well, I'll just lean on this. When you're playing, and these are the conversations we're going to have this year, especially knowing that De'Aaron Fox turned down the money and he's shooting for the Mega Max, the Mega Extension, the Super Max. When you have someone that's on the floor like Anthony Edwards, who changes the current, changes the momentum of a basketball game, it's easy to see. Sometimes you don't want to believe it, but it's easy to see. He took that game over in many instances. And I think in certain ways, we saw DeMar put up a couple shots. He didn't make them. They weren't successful. Believe me, a lot of those shots are going to go down throughout this season, unless DeMar just has an absolute terrible season that we don't, we're not portraying, we won't foresee. But I just think Anthony changed that game a lot.
Yeah.
And they were running doubles at him to the point. And he, unlike the Tuesday game against the Lakers, he learned from his mistakes.
That was the point of emphasis defensively. It all started with him, and they did enough. He 10 for 24. They did enough to give themselves a chance to win.
Yeah, but he didn't. This time he didn't force the shots like he did Tuesday. He passed the ball. He trusted his guys. Nas hit a couple. Julius hit a couple. As you talked about, Dante hitting one. And I think in many points, to answer that question, that's what happened. The 3-point shot.
From the 916, Fox was MIA after the knee bump. I've been wondering about that because look at this. De'Aaron Fox for the game was 6 for 14. That's not a lot of shots for him, but
no,
you can live with that. However, remember, he's 6 for 14. He started 4 for 4. And in the fourth quarter, he was 0 for 4.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he didn't bump his knee a little worse than then we know.
Not
making excuses, but he was at first quarter's like, that's De'Aaron Fox. Then the rest of the game's like, what happened to him? I don't know.
Yeah, I never felt like De'Aaron was in the game as far as putting a foot to the throttle.
Yeah.
And that may be from the knee bump. I haven't heard anything. I've talked to people today. Haven't heard anything.
I haven't either. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything via social network. Haven't heard anything coming from the G1C. But maybe, something to keep our eye on.
I hope not, obviously.
I never felt that De'Aaron was in the game. And he had 15 points, and I believe he had double-digit assists, correct?
Yeah, he had 11.
11, right? I just never felt that he was intertwined into the game, and maybe that's what was that someone from the 916 is saying.
Yeah.
I guess we're saying the same thing. I just never felt that he was in the motion of the game, and he never really more times than not took the game over that we seen last year, not to bring it up last year, but I just thought there was a little something different in his swag yesterday, and it wasn't where he was pressing the action.
Yeah, he had 11 assists to your point and only 2 turnovers, which is fabulous. But the offense started out hot 4 for 4, and then the rest of the game.
Yeah. But the team kind of did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you talked about that. The momentum early coming out compared to what we've seen in preseason. They turned it on, flipped the switch a little bit. Malik Monk definitely carried them in a couple opportunities, in the third and fourth quarter. DeMontis playing big, doing what he does in certain instances. But, yeah, I just never saw De'Aaron really kind of put the foot to the gas and let people know, like, it's my time. I didn't see that yesterday.
You're right.
I thought DeMar did it a few, had a couple opportunities to do it again. He missed a couple of, I want to say bunnies, but 10-footers, 12-footers.
De'Aaron did too.
Yeah, he did
a
couple times. And it may be to what the 916, someone from the text line maybe couldn't get the extension of the leg, the bounce because of the knee bump. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know this. There were a lot of very positive signs that said it was ultimately disappointing. Case in point, there's one thing that we thought the Kings were going to have this year that was missing last night. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We're right back with that Jay and Whitey Drive Guys on a Friday. Yay, Sactown Sports.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal. Literally. It's one of the largest financial transactions you're likely to make. So work with someone who will work with your best interests in mind. Someone who agrees to operate with transparency, honesty, and fairness every step of the way. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and are bound by a strict code of ethics that requires they put your interests above their own. Because that's who we are. Make sure your agent is a Realtor.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
When I realized I was going to have to sign up for my own health insurance plan, I was ready to freak. But then I found Health Markets. Health Markets lays out a list of plans available to you. It's straightforward and so easy. And if you need help, they have licensed insurance agents you can speak with. Just dial #250 and say Health Markets. That's it. #250 and say Health Markets.
Discover the advantages of real, personalized service today with Health Markets. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. with offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County. Reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Maida Chevy sends you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them.
Silverado savings on now at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See delivery details. Ends 10/31/24. Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Every club on the shelves can be tried for free on the driving range. 3 TrackMan units and a Hagen Oaks team of skilled fitting professionals provide the finest club fitting experience. Our personable Super Shop staff will show you the newest to help you look and play your best. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
It's time to load up your calendar with all the hottest events. This is your Sactown Sports live events calendar. First up, all this month, take the family to Dave's Pumpkin Patch for hay rides, corn mazes, and fall fun for everyone. It's the perfect way to celebrate the season. Next, David Spade brings his sharp wit to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on November 22nd. And the comedy continues with a hilarious Russell Peters taking the stage at Hard Rock Live on November 23rd. And if you're looking for some legendary music, Legends of Motown will have you grooving to all your favorite classics at Thunder Valley on the same night, November 23rd. Then get festive with the Jersey Boys Midtown Men Holiday Show on December 8th at Thunder Valley. And kicking off the new year, Dylan Scott with Jackson Dean and Avery Anna are bringing their country hits to Thunder Valley on January 10th. So get out there and enjoy the best live events Sacramento has to offer. For tickets and event details, visit SactownSports.com. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Understanding what was going to be open, got a good look, even with a double clutch, we're in and out.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
That, of course, was DeMar DeRozan on that final inbounds play that resulted in Keegan with a double clutch off the rim, and the Minnesota Timberwolves prevailed on opening night. I can't thank you enough first of all, for listening, but the feedback today, no surprise after the day after Kings game, but it's sensational. Thank you for participating. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. For example, here from the 916, nice that they made 80% from the line, but can you say it's a huge missed opportunity if you shoot twice as many free throws as your opponent and not win the game at home? That's kind of where I am, 916, and there were a lot of positives, but I'm feeling more like, wow, they could have had that when they let one slip away than I am feeling the warm and fuzzies, Jay, over, DeMar had a good game and Keegan had a good game. You got to win those games.
You do.
If we're supposed to be good, right?
You're right. And I respect what the 916 is saying. They ain't put their name on it, right? So, shouts out to the City of Trees representative.
That's the only thing that kept that text from being like grade A.
Need to drop your name on it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, there's no excuses. I mean, and if I think that's a response to what I was saying or what we were talking about shooting 80%. I'm not making that an excuse. I'm just saying because we're comparing it to last year.
Right.
Like no matter what the person from that's texting that, they're looking at this team and saying, hey, oh my goodness, here we go. Free throw situation. Like you're not looking at last night from the jump and saying, well, you know what? They lost that game at the free throw line. No, they didn't. And that's just my opinion. But
as a fact,
well, some people would probably argue that too. And I'm maybe the person from the 916 would argue that. I just think, yes, I agree with it in the form of if we're comparing it to last year, Whitey, they got to shoot a little bit better. But in comparing it to last year, which I said I'm not going to do, they shot better.
Yes. Chris the Mom weighs in with Fox's hand was bothering him too. He kept holding his hand like it was hurting early on. Remember, it was Utah, I think, in the preseason game against Utah. He hurt his finger, and then he didn't play the next preseason game. So I don't know. Again, we're not making excuses, not trying to make excuses for De'Aaron Fox, but he got to a great start and then didn't quite have the same impact later in the game. And that's, to me, that was one of the things where it was a little puzzling, a little frustrating, is we thought the Kings this year with De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan, boy, end of games, look out, right? Look out. And last night, neither one of them was great down the stretch. Maybe it's not fair to expect that every game, but it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, it's game one.
I know.
And if coach is coming out and saying, listen, I don't have all my ducks in a row either.
Right.
And no excuses.
Right.
Then the players aren't either.
Yeah.
And if you want to, and if anyone wants to jump on and say, well, damn, Jay, Whitey, we got to be better than that, then guess what I'd say? You're right.
Yes.
In game one, there is no excuse not to have your lineup prepared or not have your minutes, sectioned out and have your last play drawn up and don't say, listen, we only did it once, only live. Like, I'm with you on that. They're 100%. If people want to come and say that, I'm rocking with you. But there are some things to take from it. Last night's game where it's like, okay, I can see it. And I've seen it enough over time. 16 years is different. DeMar DeRozan is going to be a beast in many games at the end of the game. He missed some shots last night.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Yeah, fourth quarter, he was 2 for 9.
Yep.
Excuse me, he was not 2 for 9. He was 2 for 7. He was 2 for 7, and De'Aaron Fox was 0 for 4. It happens. It was just a little, it was a little mildly disappointing.
Yeah.
We also have this from the 530. Is McBuckets better than Herter?
Uh-oh. Is that starting already?
I don't know, but if he is, you got a problem, right? If Doug McDermott's better than Kevin Herter, you got a problem.
That was from the 530?
Yeah.
I wonder,
they just asked the question.
Yeah. I wonder where that's coming from. Because we can't answer that in the form of one game.
Yeah.
We can't answer that in the performance of Kevin Herter having 2 points and Dougie McBuckets having 0. McBuckets only got one shot, and he got it up fast. That curl right at the top of the key, he came up.
Like Jerry used to say, if it feels like leather, he's going to
shoot it.
Yeah.
Right? Not cowhide leather.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to go that far yet. I got to see more from Dougie McBuckets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He may be, but I'm just saying.
See, sure.
Bottom line is they need Kevin Herter to be closer to the Kevin Herter of 2 years ago.
But let me say this, and I think that's what you're saying. And rephrase the question for the 530. Could Doug McDermott be better for this team than Kevin Herter? I'm willing to entertain that now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Vinnie here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Vinnie, thanks for hanging on. What's up?
Jay Whitey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, I was just wanting to tap in. I was out at the arena yesterday, and I just wanted to give my take, and it kind of piggybacks off what you guys were just talking about. I mean, my thing, day one rolling out, we should be putting our top 5 on the floor, no matter what. You got preseason to figure all that stuff out. I mean, the way some players play, specifically Kevin Herter, I mean, there's no reason to be giving someone a chance. Second years, be hoping for something 2 years ago when you got able bodies right in front of you. I think that took some of the win out of Keon sales. Secondly, Fox need the ball in his hands. Given his personality, DeRozan's a great player. He's going to be great. But towards the end of the game, I thought DeRozan had the ball in his hands more than maybe he should have, and then allow Fox to create and play off him. And I think we should be leery of that, letting Rose get into that, or Fox get into that mentality when we need so much around this year. But I'll take you guys' replies offline. Just wanted to chat in.
All right, thank you, Vinny. It's a great point. I mean,
That's
the whole thing. You have 2 guys that can finish for you. Typically, you only have 1, so they have to sort that out, right? They take turns, or does it depend on matchups, or what? That's going to take some time to figure out.
It's a good point of what Vinnie said, and I completely agree. I think he's spot on, and shouts out to Vinnie showing up and doing his thing.
Yep.
At the game, and I salute everybody that has the opportunity to do it and do it. Man, y'all mean a lot.
Yeah, we got to say hi to a lot of people out there.
Man, shouts out to the 916.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everyone's not from the 916, but shouts out to the King's Kingdom, man. It is it's always amazing to see how the Kings fans turn up, they show out, and at the same time, just a bunch of nice people.
Yeah.
Like super nice folks, man. But I agree with this, Whitey. I'm with it. Put your best five on the floor. And I know that doesn't always work on every team because you're looking for fit and how camaraderie and how this player A fits with player B. But I'm also of the ilk of give me the best talent and I'll make it work. One of those things. And you're a former coach. I'm pretty sure, and I think I've heard you say this. The typical coach speak. I'll take 10 guys with heart over 10 guys with talent and lazy, or however you want to put it. So, but I agree with Vinnie, man. At this point, game one is go time. You got to have all this stuff figured out to the best of your ability.
Couple of things here that are interesting to me, and these are not criticisms, but I think stylistically there's a couple of differences that we can notice already with the Kings. I know it's only one game in, but these are things to keep an eye on. And again, please understand, I'm not saying this is wrong, but I'm saying, ooh, it's different. The first is probably the more obvious, and we've talked about it already. Only 29 3-point attempts for them last night.
Yeah.
And they made 37.9.
And what did Minnesota get up?
They got a 50.
Woo!
Yeah. They're shooting more this year. They didn't shoot that many last year. They're shooting more this year. So the Kings, it's only one game, but as we know from talking to Jay Triano on the show and Mike Brown after games, last year anyway, their target number was 40. So is that going to come down? And again, I'm not saying it better not. I'm just saying, something to keep an eye on. The other thing that stands out to me, again, stylistically, the offense last night was good. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah.
That wasn't a problem. Assists-wise, they had 21 assists, which for them is not – it's okay. 20 or better is like, okay, that's not a really high number for them. De'Aaron had 11.
Right.
Monk had 4.
Yeah.
So everybody else combined had 6. So Domantas Sabonis last night, not a criticism. Again, he had 1 assist. So he had a great game. I'm just saying, they might look a little different in a couple of ways this year at that end of the floor.
Well, I think Vinnie, and, keep harping on Vinnie, which is a great call. I think that's part of it is they're still trying to figure out where DeMar fits into this versus how much the ball should be in Sabonis's hands, Malik's hands, and De'Aaron. And I'll just be the first one to say Malik ain't going to have no problem this year. Because one thing Malik going to do, he going to demand the ball. And when he gets the ball, he's going to make maximum effort to take care of what he needs to do while he has it in his hand. De'Aaron's the point guard of the squad. And it's a difficult situation when you hold the ball 9 times out of 10 and have to, there's a fine line of trying to get your guys involved versus going to get your 25 as well. And I think that's what Vinnie was talking about. And these are the growing pains the Kings are going to have. Hopefully it just happens sooner than later. Let's take that summer sprout compared to that, came into high school as a freshman, and by the time you're a junior, like, okay, now we see where you worked out. No, I need that 8th grade to 9th grade sprout in the summer,
Yeah. I'll say this too about Malik. You mentioned Malik's not going to be a problem. I used to do a podcast with my brother, with Phantom, and with Jerry Reynolds. Yeah, the Phantom, the guy that goes, drives by my house and can't even wave or honk.
That cat. Yeah.
That cat. So anyway, one time we were talking about the best dunkers who are smaller.
Ooh.
And Malik's not tiny. He's listed at 6'3", but for smaller guys, he's a great dunker.
Yeah, he go get it.
Tremendous. The dunk last night. I watched that again today because it's like, how does he go? It's so quick. He goes from being on the floor with the ball to having the ball, both hands through the rim in just a blink of an eye.
Yeah, the other thing, Malik, too, he's long. He's he's short, long, lanky, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's
right.
The plastic man. But Stacey was way bigger. But the other thing, too, is, and you correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to your opinion, dunks look better with smaller guys.
Because they're more surprising, I think.
Maybe so. Yeah. That's been an old argument. It's nothing new. But one thing about Malik, he from 0 to 1, there's not a lot of time in between.
Yeah.
I don't even need to go to 100 because it doesn't take him to get to 100.
Yeah.
0 to 1, he's up and he go get it.
Your poor guy, I know he's your guy, Joe Engels. He's looking in. He started looking for help. Like as soon as Malik left the floor, he's like looking for help. Like, hey, I need some help. Oh, he got dry roasted on that play last night.
He did.
When we come back, tell you about the team that didn't play yesterday, but they still scored, and we'll continue to break down the Kings opening night defeat to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Some positive signs, though. We're back with those. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Every 4 years, the world watches every corner kick, every save, every pass. The world watches its most beautiful game played at its highest level. And for a moment, the world stops turning for soccer. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026, supporting possibilities turned into achievements on the biggest stage. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. member FDIC.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Hey, it's Michael Smirkanish. Business owners and CMOs, how do you plan on growing your business? Have you plateaued on your social media and online efforts? Why not tap into podcasts and radio? In the U.S., audio reaches more than 271 million people weekly. That's more than social media and digital combined. My friends at Radioactive Media know the recipe to launch, optimize, and scale performance by building compelling audio campaigns which work. I personally know the principles of Radioactive Media, their personal approach and knowledge of the medium, unparalleled. For advertisers who want to reach the right audience with the right hosts and programs, text the word profits to 511-511. Heck, you can even buy spots on my program. If you're a mid-sized company or well-funded startup with a monthly budget as low as 5 figures, they can help. Text the word profits to 511-511. Online, radioactivemedia.com. Text rates may apply.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
All right, it's Friday. You know the old Forrest Gump thing, life's like a box of chocolates. Jay, we have some donuts here, box of donuts. I haven't looked at it yet. Are you interested in donuts at all?
I'm a donut guy here and there. I got to have a taste for them.
Usually at a radio station, 2:47 on a Friday afternoon, there's not much in here, right?
True.
Wow, this is an excellent selection. Look at that.
Wow.
There's a chocolate old-fashioned. There's 2 chocolate bars, part of a maple old-fashioned, 2 French crullers. That's an amazing selection.
That's almost a dozen.
Leftover.
We must have had about 3 dozen this morning.
That's amazing.
Where's that, for Marie's?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looks like a Marie's box.
Uh-huh. So that's a good omen potentially there.
It is.
Drive Guys looking for some positives after last night's loss, Kings loss. Jay and I were out there. Thanks to Emran Pilati for setting us up out there last night. Great energy last night. No surprise, I know, but it just never ceases to amaze me.
As far as the atmosphere?
Yeah, just the sheer energy. There's I don't know who the guy sitting next to me was, but by the third quarter, we were best friends.
That a boy.
You know, every good play, we're bumping.
Yeah, that's right. And
yeah.
that's what it is. That's what sports does.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. As I said, I enjoy myself when we're blessed to have the opportunity to go every Kings game if we want to. But I never take it for granted, Whitey. Like the last couple of years, I've definitely, and you know, not getting onto the soapbox, I've tried to live in the moment. And so when I go out to the G1C, I really soak it in. I you know, because I understand we are blessed to have that opportunity.
And not to wander too far down this path.
Sure.
But I was talking to, Doug from KNCI, and I was talking to him a little bit ago, and he was following the game last night. He couldn't go to it, but he said, it's just so great in our community. It brings everybody together at a time when there's so many other things that are pulling us apart.
Yes.
And it's great to have everybody, like I said, my buddy next to me, like, yeah, good play.
Yeah, I mean, we had the opportunity, and of course you're the legend. So every 10 steps we walk, somebody's like, what's up, Whitey? What's up, Whitey?
Hey, where's my pizza? I don't work here, sir. I'm not who you think.
Like you're someone for the 916. Guys, I'm a cheapskate. I don't watch the games. I listen to the smooth voice of the G-Man on 1140. I kept wanting to hear Foxy's name called at the end of the fourth, and it never came. I know he was dishing out assists, but his superpower, speed, and the clutch play, we gave that away, Jeff. And part of that is in the fact of that's how great our community is even if you don't go to the game, you can listen to the smooth, the docile tones of the G-Man, who's been doing it longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see him last night. And I, Scott Moak, I gotta take some credit for this. I saw Scott before the game, of course, and I said, hey, and I've told him this before. I said that Keegan Murray. He says, yeah. And I said, you should keep doing it. He said, really? I said, yeah, I would. And he did. So
yeah. He didn't stop it this year. Brand new year. He kept it going, huh? Brought the baggage into the new year.
So many of those little things in the beam. We didn't get to light the beam last night, but that place was just hopping.
Stays hopping.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, just when like Domas makes one of his 3 threes last night, and people everywhere are just going crazy.
Yeah, jumping up.
Yeah.
When you jump up and everybody else jumps up around you, you're like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. The one thing I really appreciate about the G1C, and it was only natural, organically, it was going to happen, but it is happening now, is I've lived in LA, I've lived in Houston, I've had the opportunity to be in huge cities like that, working, albeit for the Clippers, not the Lakers, but it still hops, and being around top tier organizations and the surrounding area that they call home, the stadium, the LA Live, as you talked about Houston and the Toyota Center, where it was even further down. What would that be? I can't remember freeway that is, 35, 45, something around there. But the Doco at this point is a place to be.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. Like for all the love Arco 2 got, man, it was dead around the surrounding areas. Now you literally, and I can't remember who said this, maybe you did or someone on another show, everyone kind of has their form of transportation or way of and pattern of how they get to the game, how they get home from the game, but also everything in between. If you jump on a light rail, which is free to go to the Kings game, like that's dope. You have the opportunity to hit the local restaurants, the watering holes, whatever you want to touch on your way in and out. If you drive, I tend to drive because I'm not too far into Thomas, hop, skip, and a jump for me. I still jump through.
Did you have trouble
Doco.
getting out of there last night? I did because they had like 3 lanes closed.
You talking about the freeway?
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm so close. I just take the back routes through downtown, jump on Richards, West El Camino.
Yeah.
I shoot to the back that
it's
way.
It's usually not hard at all, but last night was a little tricky.
Yeah, it was because all the construction on I-5. But I appreciate that, Whitey. Like Doco, again, not taking it for granted. Doco is a dope place to be. It's a dope place to go watch a game. And I starting to feel like the fandom, the lids popped up last year. You got the Punch Bowl. It's just so many different spots.
Tipsy Putt.
You asked me about Tipsy Putt last night, right? I'm like, who would have ever thought? People thought because it's here, but I guess I never did. But I really love the way Doco's starting to rock. And it's starting to spread out even further now.
Yeah.
You can hit a couple of streets and be like, oh, you got the watch party over there? And a lot of these places don't pay for sponsorship and advertising, so I ain't going to say their names, but it's some spots you can take 4 or 5 blocks away now, and they're starting to hop. And I'm like, that's what's up.
Yeah. I think what you're saying, it actually contributes to the fact that, the Golden One was just named the top arena. Part
As
of
it
it
should
is
have
that
been.
fan experience. And we go out there like Monday, we're out there, right? And, I'll go out there early on a Monday, get out there to start the show. And even on early game day, there's an energy, there's kind of a hum early. People are just getting out there. It's not crowded yet, but you can feel it, just like a low hum. And then you get closer to game time, and there's that positive energy that starts to crackle. And that's it. As you're talking about it, I realize it's just, there's a lot of positive energy just being out there, like before the game. It's just a cool place to be.
Yes.
Not just because of all the, you can do this and that. That's true. But it's just the vibes are so strong when you're there, and it feels like, man, this is a place I like hanging out.
That's true. Very true. Very well put. And I like the musician in you, the crackle and the hum.
Yeah.
I like where you're going right there.
Ooh, it's there. You feel it. And like last night in the arena during the game.
Yeah, there were a couple, like you said, when Domas hit a few of those threes, people touched the rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped they dropped the gift cards down from the roof. They didn't even have to drop them down. Some people went up there and got them off the feet, twinkle toes.
I just want to mention this real quick because I said I would, and it doesn't have anything to do with the Kings, but the Warriors yesterday, even though they didn't play, they were awarded an additional point. Did you hear about this? They'd beaten the Blazers 139-104, and due to a late day correction of a scorekeeping error, the Warriors were given an additional point yesterday. They won 140-104 because DeAnthony Melton had at one point made he missed one free throw, made another, and the scorekeeper somehow got him missing 2. So they went back and changed the score. So the Warriors didn't play yesterday, but they still added a point.
And DeAnthony got it?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Add that up. Put that in the tally mark.
Yeah. And the Warriors are bragging about their depth. They're so deep, and it concerns me a little bit about the Kings, Jay. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I think depth is going to be something that's going to be on the drawing board this season. As of looking at it yesterday, it's something we're going to have to question until proven that it's there.
Yeah. By the way, Chris the Mom again. Thank you, Chris. Yesterday, people were leaving, catching a photo of the G1C, and the beam wasn't even on.
Come on, that part.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Take a snapshots of your local watering hole. I like that.
Yes. Where the Kings go from here. And separating the not so encouraging parts from the really good parts last night. We continue. It's Jay and Whitey, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and, many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, how are you celebrating fall's arrival?
By giving you the best savings yet on all remaining new 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs in stock, with savings up to $13,000 off MSRP, starting as low as $28,215.
Wow, that's some of the best savings you've had all year.
Yep, and it's not just on new Dodges. We have over 200 quality used cars available and 46 under $20,000 at the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter in historic downtown Woodland. Whatever vehicle you need, Hoblet has it.
If you need a vehicle new or used, your first stop needs to be Hoblet. You won't find bigger savings on a better selection of vehicles anywhere. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on select new 2023 Dodge Charger XXT after $39.20 factory rebates and $9,080 dealer discount. Rebates include 1,000 Hoblet inventory select coupons while supplies last. Not everyone will qualify for all rebates. At least 5 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Kings lose the opener. Back at him tomorrow night, Drapes. Is down in Los Angeles. We'll be talking to Drapes at some point here. It's Whitey and Jay today. Kings and the Lakers tomorrow. I'll tell you what, a lot of the, feelings of being unfulfilled after that first game last night, that all goes away once you beat the Lakers again.
You know it.
Yeah. Then you got, I don't want to say you got a bunch of easy games, but you got a bunch of games that should be pretty easy after that coming up.
Speaking into existence, White.
There you go.
Go ahead, man. We'll follow the cat.
Yeah.
We'll follow
easy
the cat.
games. Yeah.
Are you
winning streak coming?
Okay, I like it.
Just a matter, does it start tomorrow or not? Let's hope so.
Well, I'll take a winning streak even if it starts tomorrow and or next week. Portland after that, right? I'll take that. Let's begin tomorrow, because I definitely don't want to lose to the Lakers.
Right.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
and I don't want to see Lakers get off to a decent start.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to see it.
Oh, aren't you the one that said JJ Redick's coach of the year?
That'd be those guys in that studio, or I guess one guy right now. But
JJ Redick said something kind of dumb. After the first game, he was complaining about the new basketballs. He said, I don't know why in the world we're using new basketballs. Then I guess the league told him to stop complaining about that. And so then he said, oh, you guys, you'll understand through the year. Sometimes I'll say stuff like that, and it's a bit. So it's like,
that's called
what?
You are no longer in the media, and
yeah, you're right.
You're back in the league.
Right.
You better be quiet and fall in line.
Yeah.
And you can say what you want to say in certain instances, but certain instances when you talk about the league, you're going to have to fall in line.
Think before you speak.
That's right.
Yes. Kings last night, a tough loss, and we're just wrestling with that a little bit. There's a lot of optimism today, and a lot of people are excited. There's a sense of, yeah, they lost, but boy, there were a lot of good things. And I think Jay and I know I am. I think Jay and I are both feeling more like, yeah, that's okay, but we have high expectations for this team, and that was an unfortunate loss because you had a chance, you had a lead at home. Late lead, you had a chance to grab one that would have been a meaningful game against a conference rival. So
yeah,
disappointed.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, one of the things I've been asking, for this season, this upcoming season, now we're in it, is loftier goals and loftier expectations. And I think that's what we're talking about today is, ho hum, they took the L, but I'm expecting a little more. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not gonna sit by idle and have a few more. When I say a few more, let's just say 20 of those, 10 more, whatever. I'm not gonna sit by idle and not call some things into fruition if they lose these type of games throughout the season. My goals and expectations are a little higher, and I expect this team with DeMar DeRozan, with most of the guys that they have coming back who've played major minutes, to take the next step.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fair because, DeMar DeRozan just got there. But this isn't a brand new young team. This is the third year of this core. I'm not saying they're old, but I'm saying, all right, you should have some things figured out by now. Made the playoffs, made the play-in. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan, here we go.
Yeah. Well, they're veterans. I think that's what you're saying.
Young veterans.
Yeah, young veterans. Yeah. But exactly, when you've been in the league for 8 years, Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, is 28 years old. Has Domantas been in the league for 9 or 10? I didn't look at that.
He was 2016, I think.
Rookie,
drafted.
So he came. So will this be his 9th year?
Let me check. Drafted by Oklahoma City, of course. That was one of the big positives last night was Domas taking and knocking down threes. And I know Drapes and I have talked about, I don't remember if you weighed in on it or not, Jay, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And his first season was 2016-17. So he started at age 20. Okay. He's now 28. But we talked about how in the preseason, he looked a little reluctant to take some of those threes. Mm-hmm. Last night, he didn't look.
He's firing.
Yeah. He looked like, all right, boom.
I like it. And the jumper looks the same. And it's not even so much as a jumper, but the shot looks the same. Mm-hmm. But it definitely looks like he has more confidence in it. And it looks like you can see he got some marching orders to let that thing fly just a little more. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to say it was one time or 2 times, and I felt like I've done this with Domantas since he's been here, where I've screamed, shoot it. Like, and I said it a couple times. I find myself shoot. One was at the free throw line, and I don't remember distinctly. I know it was in the second half. My apologies for not remembering. I want to say it was late in the third quarter, maybe early in the fourth quarter, but I'm not 100% sure. And he was right at the free throw line, and he had 4 feet. And he pump faked, and then he looked around and pump faked, and then he kind of turned, pivoted, and then he passed it. I'm like, no, shoot the ball. That's when we need you to shoot the ball. I'll live with the miss. I'd rather, then, man, what in the hell are we, like, shoot the ball.
Right.
And so that was one of my things. The other thing I thought yesterday, and I know you're going to talk positives here soon, is I thought Keegan Murray came out with a point to do. Oh, excuse me, you go ahead.
No. You go ahead because we're right.
I think he really came out with the point to say, you know what? And even from his very first shot in the corner, it was like he was looking to shoot.
Yeah,
he was looking to attack. He was looking not to pass. Where that was more that was the second option. His first option was, I'm gonna get it up.
Yep. Keegan Murray, the primary defender on Ant-Man, and then scoring 23, hitting 5 of 10 threes in 43 minutes. That was great. And it's only one game again, I know. But that potentially is great. That was great to see last night.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, he was very, very aggressive. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, he took the last shot. I'm not saying he wouldn't. I know the time dictated that.
He didn't shy away from it.
No, he didn't. Yeah. He didn't. And I didn't go into the locker room. I don't think you went to the locker room post game. I saw bits and clips, but I did not see Keegan Murray talk last night. And if he did, I didn't see anyone post that last night. But it'd be interesting to get some insight on how he felt the shot, just to hear him say, oh, you know what? I missed it. Next time I'll take the shot. Or was it demoralizing, crushing? But from his reaction on the floor, it didn't seem like it really crushed him. It was just like, okay, I missed a shot. I'll live with it. It's a basketball play.
He almost made a double clutch 3.
I know, that's crazy.
Tremendous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To your point about Domas, we found that out, I think, during that playoff series against the Warriors, where Looney or Draymond, whoever was guarding him, they'd just be, like this far
20 feet off.
What are you going to do? And so the point is, shoot it, pass it, whatever. You just got to make your decision quick.
Yes.
The worst thing you do is stand there and do nothing.
Yeah. And that's kind of what people have talked about with Domantas. Some of his drawbacks is sometimes he can pump fake, double pump, triple pump, pivot 16 different ways, and then pass the ball, and you've ate up 9-10 seconds. Let me say my pet peeve for Domantas. And this is my pet peeve for anyone. And who am I to sit up here and talk about it? Because I'm only 5'9". But I've also said this. Dude,
I know where you're going.
If you 6'8", 6'9", and above, and you are 2 feet from the rim, dunk the ball.
Yeah, I heard you saying that last night.
Dunk the damn ball. Like, I am tired. And DeMontis is, and I'm not picking on DeMontis because he is the Kings guy that, that to me seems like he goes up and lays the ball up versus when he came down the lane last night, you could see the difference. He like,
what's the difference? Running start, boom.
Yeah, but that
get the
dude,
rebound.
you 7 feet almost. Dunk the damn ball. I'm tired of guys 6'10" and above going up soft, patty caking with the rim. Dunk the rock, man. Stop playing with the ball.
I also want to give Jay credit. He showed a lot of restraint last night because he actually was sitting next to a guy wearing a Jimmy Butler Timberwolves jersey.
Yeah, and that thing was in green.
Yeah. And I think that guy was with some Kings fans, but you were fine, right? And I told you at one point, if we're gonna go, I got your back. Whatever. Everything was fine.
Yeah, everything was good. He even corrected Imran at one point in time. Yeah, he was like talking about Joe Ingles' age. Because we were trying to guess. Remember, Imran talked about Joe Ingles' age. By the way, it's 3:30 and Imran ain't here yet.
Wow,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm being sarcastic, but he was like, man, Joe Ingles, he's got to be a little older. And he's like, guy looks over, he's like, he's 37.
Did he really? I didn't know. Yeah,
I don't think you guys caught it, but he was like, no, he's 37. I was like, all right, big time. I see you a T-Wolves fan, baby. I see you
Jimmy
rocking.
Butler said that last week.
Respect to him, coming in. And it wasn't just the white or the blue. It wasn't a throwback. He had that Seattle Seahawks green Minnesota Timberwolves jersey, which is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to fly neon socks to go with it.
Really?
You didn't check his socks?
I did not.
Oh, man, dude was fly. Come on, man. He was out here it's Halloween, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's get your glow in the dark look on right now.
Was that spooky for the Kings last night? That loss, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We continue to pick through the wreckage of the Kings opening night loss. Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper. Drapes for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now is the time to buy or lease a Mercedes-Benz van for sale. They have Sprinter vans. You could turn it into a worker cargo van, a worker passenger van, or just a plain old passenger van. They are fully customizable. And one of the things I love about their Sprinter vans, because trust me, I had a chance to check them out myself. I hopped in the Sprinter van, and you guys know I'm a big guy, right? Well, I was able to stand up head to toe and fit perfectly. So if you're interested in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van for your business or just your personal needs, now is the time to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They can help you find the configuration that best suits your needs. Plus, you can take advantage of the huge tax breaks before year's end. Take the short drive down I-5 or go online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them your boy Drape sent you.
Kings basketball is back in action. The Kings have tipped off their 40th season in Sacramento, and it's sure to be an exciting one. Get your tickets now to see De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition DeMar DeRozan, and all of your Sacramento Kings take the court at Golden One Center. Upcoming matchups include the Trailblazers on October 28th, the Raptors on November 6th, and the Clippers on November 8th. Don't miss out. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat for the action now.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Radio's Halloween bashes this weekend. That's right, Stoney has Halloween costume contests each night, including Sexiest, Scariest, and Best, and a superhero/villain contest this Sunday night. Winners get a dash for cash on the dance floor, free late night food, country dancing, and Halloween fun all weekend long. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Helping them get their rhythm because they haven't been able to do training camp with us. You know, they miss preseason, you know, and when you miss a lot of little things like that, it's tougher to get rhythms going for them. So I think, you know, that's the tough part. You know, once they rhythm get going, you know, it's going to be a lot easier on itself.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
All right, I'm going to vent a little bit here. I know it's Friday, got Halloween coming up, and I know the Kings did a lot of good things last night, but I have to vent a little bit here. That was DeMar DeRozan last night, of course, talking about trying to get Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles into the flow of things. But Jay, if Kevin Huerter wasn't ready to be in the flow of things, why do you start him? You know what I'm saying?
I know where you're going.
Some of this is, you know, teammate speak and coach speak, and yeah, we didn't win and he didn't play well. Well, he's, you know, and I understand that. You got to have your teammates back, but I mean, if he's that far off and is not into the flow of things, why is he starting, Jay?
You ain't lying. Should have been Keon. Why not work him into the flow of the game compared to put him out there from the beginning?
Right. On the other hand, we have this. What's up, Whitey and Jay? I just wanted to say on the text line here, I agree with you guys. They have to win games like that. Fox should have made that open too when it was tied at 115. No excuses. But Kings fans, relax. I'm optimistic. All they need to do is tweak a couple of things, and that's a win. So that seems to be the prevailing attitude today. It's like, yeah, should have won that game, but you know what? They're gonna win those games going forward.
Yeah,
I
think
hope so.
I think if you really pay attention to the way the game goes, I'd be remiss if I don't think DeMar DeRozan is going to knock down some of those mid-range shots. And he had a few, but he definitely missed a few where it's like,
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I mean, not be fair to say, but for him, it's like, man, it's almost like a free throw.
It's guaranteed. Yeah, absolutely. And so I thought that was one of the things. The other point is if you, and I know someone earlier talked about, you know, De'Aaron Fox not pressing on the gas versus maybe bumped his knee and didn't fulfill, you know, what most people believe De'Aaron. And he had a decent game, had a pretty good game. Wasn't a great game. De'Aaron's going to put up more than 15. We know that, right? And so I think those are a couple of things that you can look forward to as well. We talked about Keegan being super aggressive and hyperactive. And then the other part too is Drake said this, and I think you agreed with it. I'm intrigued on what Doug McDermott is going to bring to this team, because the other thing that he brings to this team, and I don't think anyone has talked about this on the show, is he's got a little attitude to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got a little bravado. He's got a little something, a little sauce to his shrimp, you know, so it's kind of one of them things where it's like, I'm feeling that. You know, you see him barking out there a little bit. You see him talking to some cats. You could tell by the way he walked. He ain't, and he's a veteran. You know, he doesn't shy away from the shot. And so he's got a little attitude that goes along with that.
It's just difficult with some of the lineups because you do have a couple guys here and there that other teams are going to target. And if you already have one or two of them on the floor, then you put Dougie McBuckets out there, all of a sudden you start to get compromised in that way. And, you know, he's just got to start making threes to counteract that. But last night, not many minutes, not many shots. And speaking of the shot distribution, that's another thing that I think this is really different, Jay. And again, I'm not criticizing.
No.
I have criticized a number of things. I'm not criticizing this, but this is different. De'Aaron Fox only put up 14 shots last night. And you had DeRozan with 18 and 17 for Keegan, 13 for Domas, and 9 for Malik. So it was pretty democratic. But, you know, last year you look at field goal attempts and De'Aaron Fox by far led the team, and he typically does. So that either is an indication that they are trying to make the shot distribution a little more even this year, or there was something kind of holding them back last night.
Yeah. I mean, he looked explosive, but he didn't look like, you know, Mighty Mouse, his superpower, you know, and so not sure if it was the bump, not sure if it was
new teammates,
trying to fit, you know, have everyone kind of fit the puzzle piece fit. I just think it's gonna change. And I'll say this: Tuesday night and I'll give you an example, and albeit it's not in the Kings uniform, it is in someone who gashed the Kings last night, and that's Julius Randle. Tuesday night, if you had an opportunity to watch the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves game, which was the second national game of 2, and I understand it. Most people don't want to watch Laker games. Here, it is our job, and on top of that, enjoy the game. Julius Randle looked lost. Minnesota Timberwolves offense looked lost. Anthony Edwards was forcing a lot of three-pointers on Tuesday night. Julius was looking kind of a la like someone who was not sure where he was supposed to be and passing a lot of those open shots that he had Tuesday night.
He was like somebody at a party where he didn't know anybody.
Yes, great point. Absolutely.
You know, we've all been there.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. But everybody doesn't have the bravado like Dougie McBuckets. Last night, you could see whatever the game plan was, albeit you could say it was DeMar DeRozan being on him or not. Coach, the team, the game plan, shoot the damn ball. Go get it. Put it up. Go get those numbers. Be offensively aggressive. And right from the beginning, he did that. And so that's an example of a new guy trying to fit in, play next to a star, a couple of different stars, a well-warranted team that's, has aspirations on winning their championship, as we've seen with the move they made in acquiring him, from 2 nights difference where he looked completely lost, like a person in a party, as you said, that knows anyone, to where he was like, man, this feet on the coffee table.
Yep.
Like
he was barking at your boy Doug Christie.
Yeah, he was.
When he made that corner 3.
Yeah, he did.
It looked like, who knows what he was saying. It looked like he was barking at somebody on the bench.
It was Doug and the other coach next to him. But yeah, so those are the things we can hang on, Whitey, as Kings fans, as part of the Kings kingdom, where one night you can look completely lost. And I'm not saying DeMar did, but the offense looked a little clunky at certain points. Yeah.
And that's when Minnesota slowed it down. I thought last night in a lot of ways was a battle of the tempos. The Kings like to play faster. When they got out and they ran, they had a lot of fast break points last night. Fast break points, Timberwolves 32, Kings 40. So it's kind of even, but the Kings were pushing tempo, and they had that transition 3 off the block by Len that Keegan made. That was a huge shot. But then when they were missing shots and Minnesota sort of slowed it down a little bit, that's when they started tilting the game back in their favor.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought their star, meaning Anthony Edwards, showed up a little more than De'Aaron, which we're talking about. And I also thought this was the other thing. There were plenty of times, 3 minute increments, 4-minute increments, and that's kind of where Minnesota jumped back and came back from 10 real quick. Someone from the 916, I believe, or 530 said it a little earlier on the text line. Like, man, how did they go up from 10 to down by 1 super quick? You know what it was? Too much one-on-one basketball. There were plenty of times we kind of looked around. I was like, man, I think I counted 2 or 3 times almost within that 3-minute increment where someone got the rebound. Not one pass. Not one pass within the offensive set.
Didn't they have the 10-point lead with like 3:25 left?
Yes.
In the quarter?
Yes.
So I remember we were talking, man, this is a great quarter for the Kings. Like, oh, well, it was for a while. Yeah. Hey, Ramsey weighs in. Great to meet Ramsey's dad last night.
Shouts out, Pops.
And his girlfriend, Ramsey's girlfriend, not his
dad's girlfriend. It doesn't matter. Don't.
Yeah, that's their business.
Yeah, but Pops might still do a bid.
I know, but I hope it's not her, because that would be an issue.
No, it's not.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just saying, Pops might got his thing going.
I understand.
All right.
Ramsey says most people didn't notice De'Aaron Fox bumped legs with Dante DiVincenzo, took his shot out of rhythm, led to him distributing. Yeah, so a number of people are pointing to that.
Yeah.
We don't know. And De'Aaron is not the type. I'll give him that, right? He's not the type to come out and say, guys, my knee's bothering me or my fingers bothering me. He doesn't talk about that stuff.
No, not till like 20 games down the road. Then we'll hear about it. It's like, game 1, man, I banged my knee. Like, that's kind of how he operates. There's been a time or two where people have kind of guessed. And then, we go 20, 30 games, sometimes through the whole season. And then we hear something at the end and they talk. He's like, oh, yeah, my hand was bothering me back in game 64. It's like, what?
Yeah. Back in 2020, I had a little thing with the hammy.
Yeah, but salute to him because he doesn't make an excuse.
And salute to Chris the mom again. She says, if Bronny's really going to start splitting time between the Lakers and the G League, I think that's a smart move. I really hope he does well, but I want us to do way better than the Lakers, and we have a better year than the Warriors and Pacers. Did you hear about that, Jay? The Lakers have announced that Bronny is going to split time now between the Lakers and the G League.
As he should.
But he's going to stay with the team on this road trip. Do you know why?
Of course. Tickets are sold, baby.
Because when also they're going to the land.
Yeah, I get it.
Since it's so special for LeBron to maybe play with his son in Cleveland. I'm not a fan of the whole. It's fine, but it's so contrived. It just makes me. I'll be glad when he's back in the G League and we don't have to deal with all this anymore.
So you got to go to work.
Well, I mean, look, it's part of the situation. And
I'm with her though. I mean, I wish him the best and everything, but I feel like I'm getting clubbed over the head with this.
Well, you are.
LeBron and Bronny.
You are, and that's the world we live in, right? It's sports.
You're right.
I mean, we could talk about it with Shohei. There's Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese conversation. There's just so many things. Once the sports media gets a hold of it, they become Bam Bam from Flintstones. Mm-hmm. You are going to get clubbed across the head.
Yeah. I would rather spend time with Ramsey and his dad than I would spend time hearing about LeBron and his son. That's where I am.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
that.
Oh,
and someone says here, I was in section 111. There was a guy wearing a Minnesota jersey. I think it was green or blue or something. Green,
blue or something.
Yeah, green or blue or something. We
weren't in 111. We were 2 over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew we were close.
113, but we're close.
Yeah. We were in the vicinity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I guess Minnesota has a lot of fans now or something.
Well, you do well and everybody pop out.
Bandwagon.
Yeah. And he ain't won nothing. But no, I mean, the fan next to me was solid, man. He did his thing. Salute.
I know.
The great part about you
should root for whoever you want.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say that's the great part about sports is you can rock with whoever you feel like you want to rock with. Some people born in California right now, like the New York Yankees, rooting for the New York Yankees. Albeit I have no clue why. Yeah, do that. Then you're gonna have some people who were born in Memphis, Tennessee, and they're gonna rock with the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, family, father, parents, mother, whatever reason you feel fit, please do it. Just know you're gonna catch some stuff that come back to you, when it's time.
Get into football, because football, there are more football fans than fans of any other sport. In your experience, which team of all the NFL teams has the fewest fans?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because, obviously there's a ton of Raider fans, 49er fans, the teams from the 70s, the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Vikings. They all have a ton of fans. But it's rare to meet a fan of, I've even met
Jacksonville Jaguars.
That might be it. Either them or Houston, I would think. Maybe.
I was going to say Houston, but because I had the opportunity to be there, go to school in that area, there were always people from Houston, kind of like what you saw with the Rams. The Oilers, which are now the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
There were always people who were fans of the Oilers, and then they left, and they're kind of like, well, I'll kind of root for the Cowboys because that's the closest. But then when the Texans came, they're like, oh yeah, that's done. Like it's H-Town or nothing on mine.
I think Arizona and the Chargers.
I was going to say the Cardinals too.
Yeah,
Cardinals were coming next.
And I know I've met a few here and
there.
Yeah,
those were going to be Jags and the Cardinals were the first two that popped up in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Chargers, I don't know.
There's no there. It's like, you don't even know what's, our San Diego Chargers? No.
I know some Charger fans.
Do you?
And that's probably
long
for living
time
in LA.
from like the old days?
Yeah. I'm thinking, I do not know one Arizona Cardinal fan. I'm trying to think, do I know a Jag fan?
I know a guy who's a Jags fan and an Arizona Diamondbacks fan.
How'd that happen?
He said he was young when those teams were founded, and when they were founded, he said, I'm going to root for that team because no one else does.
He's born in like 90 or something?
It's stuck.
Yeah.
And, those are the teams.
88, 89, okay.
Yeah.
A Cardinals?
No.
And a Jags fan, you said?
No, Jags and Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, a D-backs. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
D-backs fan and the Jags, which both came in the middle 90s.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
So he didn't want to attach to no old school squad. He wanted to come up with, he ain't had much success.
I know a guy that used to work in this building, and every Friday, NFL season, he would wear all Steelers stuff, everything Steelers.
Okay.
And he loved the Steelers. And I finally asked him, man, you Pittsburgh Steeler fan? He goes, oh, yeah. How come? He says, well, growing up, my brother was a Cowboy fan, and I hated my brother. So, and they were always playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl. So you just never know. More on the Kings last night, where they go from here get you ready for the Kings and Lakers tomorrow as we roll on. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Your forecast today calling for decreasing cloud cover this afternoon, allowing temperatures to warm into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees and staying clear through the night tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named a top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Top of the hour, Jerry Reynolds going to join us. So, little pressure, Jay. I don't know about you, but Jerry, he listens all the time anyway. But I think he especially listens before it comes on because he wants to know what's going on. And I've had him before. It doesn't happen a lot, but I've had him call me up. Hey, how you doing? He said, I heard what you said yesterday. Really disagree with you. And I appreciate that. But it's like your favorite professor, in college going, boy, you really let me down this time. So anyway, looking forward to talking to Jerry.
It's all good. It's part of the game, right?
It is.
We ain't always right.
That's how you learn about the game. So we'll talk to Jerry. And Jerry's going to be joining us. Yeah, I believe he's joining us throughout the season.
Yes, he is. He's tied in, and we are blessed to have the legend attack the show every single week, and sometimes you're gonna get the Jerryisms, and I'm pretty sure sometimes you're gonna be like, why do you wrong?
Probably.
And I like Andre
Probably.
too.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Yes. Now, who'd you go to the game with last night, Jay?
I went with some guy who's tardy, some guy who was a rook who just moved the mic while it was on at the same time. Didn't get comfortable.
The mic's gotta be off when you move.
I mean, headphones. I don't even know. Is he wearing headphones at this point?
Is the segment over? Should I turn around and go home? Take me an hour to get here.
Move them just a little bit here.
Or you need to
get
move
them
me?
on.
Two to your right, sir.
There we go.
One more to your right.
This is not. There's a little bit of
one
a
more
delay
to your
here,
right. Yeah, there you go. You're on point. There you go.
All right. From Two Sports Cards, he was watching the game with us last night. Evan Pilati, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm a little hoarse from yelling yesterday.
How many opening nights?
What are you doing? Is what I kept yelling.
I know.
Yeah, you were next to me when that.
Yeah, you were talking to me. That was the thing.
I was.
I'm not doing anything.
What are you doing? I think it's like 16.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Although there's probably a lot of people listening. That go, I've been to more than that, but
yeah, I mean, there's
impressive.
always the one-uppers. It's usually me, but some people can one-up me. No, it's always great to do that, and we also always go. My wife and I always go to the whatever the New Year's game is or the New Year's Eve game. There's last 2 years has been against the Grizzlies, so it's either New Year's Day or I don't know why the Grizzlies are in town when that happens. I didn't look at the schedule, but we'll be at whatever the New Year's or New Year's Eve game is.
Are you feeling more, your fun cup half empty or half full today? Are you, there are a lot of good things, or, they should have won that.
I've been listening
to
1140 all day today.
Yeah.
And the amount of, and I love our hosts here. There's no shade whatsoever, but the amount of panic that it comes to some of the players, it's like, especially Herter. And remember, I'm laughing right now because Herter's my guy. But and we were joking last night while we were watching the game.
You had a whole Herter cheering section that's out there. Yeah.
And
who real quick, Em?
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Who's the one that's been panicking the most?
Out of who? Out of all the hosts?
Out the hosts on 1140, because I'm about to attack them. Cats is.
I mean, I can't say, but let's just say they're in the midday somewhere. And I guess the part of it is like, well, Herter didn't make any shots. He was only 2 for guys. If Keegan hits that 3 last night, we're not talking about any about this stuff. We're not talking about Herter missing a shot or whatever that is. We're going to be talking about, we just beat a championship contending type team on our home floor for our opener when, they're supposed to be one of the top 2 seeds in the entire West. And we gave them a heck of a run yesterday. We did a great job. There were some decisions made at the last minute, a couple free throws that could have swayed one way or another. But, I think I don't even want to be critical because De'Aaron played great, 15 points or whatever, 17 points and 11 assists. He played great. It was just that shot that he took that was like, I don't know, 16 seconds left on the shot clock. I think it was
I think the game was tied at that point.
Yeah.
See, he was, and I'm not being critical, but this is a fact. He was 0 for 4 in the fourth quarter. And he's one of your closers.
Right.
And a lot of people are saying he bumped his knee, banged knees with DiVincenzo at some point.
Could've been.
He was shaking his finger. And a lot of people that watched on TV are saying that could have affected him.
Right. And for me, it's like we lost by a point. It was one of those scenarios where we could have played one better defensive series. We could have made 1 more or 2 more free throws. Like it's right there. It's within the margin of error.
So you're encouraged.
Very much so.
Your feeling is you watch that and you feel like, you know what? I think they're going to win more of those games than they're going to lose.
Oh, for sure. And just tighten it up. And when the 3 of us were looking up at the hustle stats, I mean, that was a beautifully evened out sense of the team doing team play. 3 guys average scoring more than 20
shots,
points.
17, 13, 14, 9.
Like what more could we ask for?
A win.
Well, a 3-pointer, a double clutch 3-pointer. No, it was a great time. And I was glad I went with you too. You're less annoying than the people that I would have brought anyways.
That's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
So.
Yeah. My wife was like, well, I was supposed to go with you with our son. Yeah, but we stayed the entire game. Well, Beckett's like, I got to get out of here. About 8:30, he starts getting itchy.
Sure.
He starts kicking the person in front of you, and you're like apologizing. He's 2.
There's going to come a point in time where he's going to be like, Dad, I don't want to go. He's going to make you stay.
That's the interesting part. Like we're leaving for vacation here in in less than 24 hours. In fact, I'm checking in for my Southwest flight here in about 6 minutes. So I'll be paying attention to that. I want to stay on the A list.
Sure.
So that way C for center seat. No, so we bought 3 tickets. We're headed to Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah, we have our wedding anniversary Sunday.
Okay.
6 years. So Jessica and I are celebrating that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then we're going to NOLA after that.
For
just to go.
Okay.
Just to go. So we're going to go to New Orleans. And what's cool is
going to Smoothie King.
We're looking at the tickets on that Saturday that we're going to go. What?
Yeah, you can go for $22.
He's not joking.
Yeah.
I'm not. I was looking at it yesterday.
Easy.
Downstairs, maybe 6 or 8 rows from the floor, $62 a ticket.
Easy, man.
And I'm like,
that's for 3 tickets.
Yeah. Depending on the opponent, sometimes they'll come out.
It's Tyrese and Pacers.
You know, sometimes there's scalpers looking for, hey, tickets. In New Orleans, sometimes they'll come out. Team officials, like, who wants $8?
I will give you money to take these tickets.
All right, 11. All right, here's $11 to go into the game.
Which is wild to me that you could go for that inexpensively. I mean, I was joking with you guys yesterday. Jump on the Southwest flights, SMF to MSY, which is New Orleans, and you could buy the tickets, hotel, and the tickets for the flight, all for the price of maybe an upstairs one here.
Sure. Do you have any words of encouragement then for all the legion of Kevin Huerter fans who are maybe feeling a little not necessarily let down, but just disappointed today and unhappy?
He was +9. He was +9.
Mm-hmm.
He hustled. He played some decent defense. He made a shot. 1 of 4. I mean, 1 of 4 is Allen Iverson type numbers, right? I'm kidding. Guys, just have some patience. I mean, Kevin hasn't been on the court in forever. He just barely got cleared. And I think that if our fortunes are determined on Kevin Huerter making 3 or 4 shots instead of 1 of 4 shots, our balance of our team isn't really laid out correctly.
How did the signing with him go last weekend?
Incredible.
Jay and I were out there. After a while, I couldn't even get in there. You had so many people in there.
Well, let's just be honest. First of all, it's difficult being Whitey Gleason.
That's true. I tell him that all the time.
Yeah, we tell you that it's tough being you.
Right.
And Whitey was there, and he was there during the get together as people were gathering. We had about 125 people come to meet Kevin. It was really a great event at our store. And you were there, and then you were gone. And I was like, where did he go?
Yeah, he dipped out on me. I called him.
What was that about?
Because there was a fan who wanted to meet him.
Was it just too much for you?
No, it was just it was the more people that came, and I wasn't gonna like force my way up there. I was like, the people that paid, let them go see him. And then I've kind of, because the crowd was so big, I was pushed further and further back, and I realized I don't know how long this is gonna go on, and I'm not even sure what happens when they're done.
Well,
so
you
I hung out with Jay a little bit, and
why didn't you do the do you know who I am? I need to go.
Because then people go, no idea.
Do you know who I am? No. You've never seen me on the radio? You've never seen me on the radio?
I tried to tell them I'm Kyle Draper, and they don't buy that for a minute.
And listen to this. Didn't Kyle talk about all week, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Did you see him?
I did not.
I didn't see him either.
I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either.
He was a busy man.
Oh, yeah. He was so busy, he says he was going to come, and he never came.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be back with more of them. And got to ask him about this World Series coming up, what that means for collectors. We got Jerry Reynolds coming up top of the hour as the Drive Guys roll on a big fat Friday on Sactown Sports.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcast ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
When it comes to fighting for families and protecting kids, no one works harder than our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover. A member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, Hoover has worked across party lines and proposed tougher penalties for fentanyl crimes, stricter sentences for drug trafficking near schools, and RILA's law to make sure anyone who abuses a child is held accountable. A former school board member, Josh has fought to support school police officers, prohibit homeless encampments near schools, and increase funding for school facilities. Josh Hoover knows that families have been paying more for everything from gas and groceries to utilities and insurance. In the Assembly, Josh is working to provide relief to families, reduce the cost of housing, and stop Gavin Newsom from raising gas prices even more next year. Josh Hoover is making a difference for our families, our community, and our future. Our voice, our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover.
Paid for by Hoover for Assembly 2024.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990.
I keep it a buck, man.
Yeah.
One thing we do.
Side note, just real quick, I know there's everybody's waiting to find out what the information was. I did check into my flight. I'm A23. My son is A25, and my wife is, I don't know, maybe the 24 because she's got to check in on her own. But we are riding high tomorrow. We're getting on early.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good because I know you teased that and then people were waiting.
They were like,
did he get in?
I have to use the restroom, but I can't leave until I find out where
I gotta go to
airport.
work. I'm late for work, but I can't leave the car. I gotta wait.
I need to know whether this card parts guy is going to be able to get on the plane.
That's
we're
right. My smooth operator, Keegan Murray. How about you? Smooth operator from last night.
Unfortunately, was Julius Randle.
Oh boy,
that guy was just crushing us last night. And after having such a mediocre to low mediocre game in Los Angeles, he was like, "Oh yeah, well let me show you how it's done," and really showed us how it's done. Although I will say that I really enjoyed Keegan last night. He was He was wonderful.
Yes.
You know, with the 11 sneaky rebounds and 23 points and 5 for 10 for 3, like he had a really sweet game. And I was not expecting that with the amount of firepower we had on the
Yeah, I know a lot
floor.
of people were surprised by that, and we'll see obviously where it goes from here. One thing I liked about the last play, obviously your options are really limited when it's 2.5 seconds. But and maybe that was one of the reasons they did this. I don't like it when a team, you know, they call a timeout and then they just go to like 1-4 flat and they give the ball to Harden or Ann or whoever, and they spread the floor and then they just dribble, wait and go. This was a play that they ran, a design play. I love that. Didn't work out, but you had Monk as an option. Keegan gets the ball. Double clutch doesn't go in. I love running a play in that situation instead of just going, all right, give the ball to whoever and we'll just let them create.
You saw who was taking the ball out.
Yeah.
It was DeMar.
Uh-huh.
So that was an interesting to have the newest guy on the team be the point guard of that inbound
Why?
play.
Because they figured they needed a 3 and you don't necessarily want him shooting that 3, right?
He was one of the few that was making shots last night. So
Yeah.
step back another 8 feet and you make a 3.
Mhm.
Why not?
Mm-hmm. On the chat, in the Chateau YouTube, Jay, you know, we were just before Emmerich jumped in here, we were talking about the NFL teams with the fewest fans, and we mentioned the Chargers and the Cardinals. Tin, good to see you yesterday, Tin. Good to see you yesterday. Tin says he has a coworker who's an Arizona Cardinals fan, and Frank Harris says, Charger fan here. So.
Yeah, Charger fans, I'd say no. And again, it might just be because I lived in SoCal, LA area for 10, almost 12 years. But I've yet to meet a Cardinals fan, and I've had opportunities to go to Cardinals games, and I still don't believe Cardinals fans are Cardinals fans.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think I've ever met a Jacksonville Jags fan.
Well,
but they're there.
Some of those fans are going to keep that to themselves too these days, you know?
Well, that's true. I mean, Jags might got more fans across the pond than they do here in the United States.
Yeah. People come into your stores, Emran. What team, NFL team, has the fewest fans based on what you've seen? We've got Jacksonville, maybe the Chargers, maybe the Cardinals, maybe Arizona.
I don't think I've ever had a Carolina Panthers request.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one of those. There's like 8 teams that constantly have transplants throughout the world, or, you know, the United States at least.
Typicals.
Yeah, the Steelers,
Packers,
Raiders,
With
Packers,
those brands that are so
Bears. Yeah, you're always going to have those. But like, I'd probably say some of the expansion teams like Jaguars, like Carolina. I don't think I've ever had a Carolina. Somebody asked me once, maybe for a JC Horn jersey, and I went, "What?" That's what I said. And then they go,
"Did your voice crack and everything?"
Hello, what?
I've met Carolina fans, quite a few of them living down
Maybe
south.
when Cam was playing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe when Cam.
Steph Curry is a famous Panthers fan.
Nobody asked me for a Jimmy Clausen jersey. Nobody asked me for a Dan Morgan jersey. Nobody asked me for a, Kerry Collins.
Well, my boy Shaq Thompson, straight from Sacramento.
No, they don't ask for him either. Does anybody? Is he still playing right now?
Yeah, he tore his Achilles or ACL. One of them. I want to say Achilles.
Yeah, I'll tell you who is not being asked for his cards right now is Brandon Ayuk, and I bought a lot of them right before.
Really?
I just have that. Yeah, I just have that luck of buying.
I'm not saying it was wrong, but excuse me. Why did you buy a bunch of Ayuk cards?
See, even you couldn't even finish that sentence.
Yeah.
Because I thought, this guy the team made a significant investment in him, and he's going to be the long-term play. I think people are scared to. It's like buying a jersey.
Did you get rookie cards? You mean?
Yes.
Okay.
One of ones. One of ones.
Ooh.
I have 6 one of one. I know that sounds weird. There's 6 one of ones. They're all unique and different, but different brands.
Add up.
That math ain't mathing. One of ones of each brand. So Phoenix, one from Flawless. I have all of them, and unfortunately, he got hurt, and he's out till next season. And I heard earlier today, there was somebody saying, well, we hope that he's going to be ready by training camp. It's like, wow, that is a long time from now. So, yeah. Time to make some trades.
Yep. Here's a question for you from Farmer Bleezy22. Can you guys ask Imran if the Ohtani 50-50 baseball card will qualify for the Topps trade-in deal, or is it something good to hold on to? Thanks, fellas. Love the show.
It will not qualify.
He's talking about the Topps Chrome
redemption
buyback or
yeah,
whatever?
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, because people right now are listening on their drive home and thinking to myself, I want to know about cards.
Yeah.
So
we're all card parts.
You're all card partners.
Yeah.
And by the way, are you going to be on my show tomorrow?
Maybe.
That's the kind of commitment I love hearing on a Saturday morning. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe possibly probably not.
You ain't gonna be here, are you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I leave in the afternoon. I moved my entire flight around for the show. That's how important my audience is to me. That's the kind of commitment.
I know somebody who wouldn't necessarily do that, who usually sits there.
And it's very warm right now, by the way. He was sitting here. It was to answer the question for Farm Breezy, what's his name?
Farmer Bleezy.
Farmer
Bleezy, of course. Yeah. Why did I mess that up? Farmer Bleezy. It's the base card is number one of the set. That's the one. He's like taking off from the box after a hit. That's the photo. That's the one that you're going to get the redemption. By the way, it's not official, but for those of you that don't know, if you have that card pulled from a pack or you have that card in your possession, you can bring that card in and get $20 store credit any way you want it. You can use it towards a purchase or just use it like it's cash.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought you said it doesn't qualify, but now it sounds like you're saying it does qualify.
The card number one, the one that he's asking about is
okay.
No.
All right. I got you. Okay.
But it is a cool card. Enjoy it. The 50-50 card's pretty cool. And but it doesn't qualify for that. And again, we have to wait until the MVPs are announced. But is there any doubt that it's Ohtani and Judge? I mean, it's just a foregone conclusion at this point.
Yeah. Head-to-head World Series starting tonight. Is this a big World Series for you, for collectors? I mean, this is Yankees, Dodgers obviously is historic. And you got all these big stars.
I didn't own the shop when 2010, 12, and 14 happened for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
But during that time, it was just bananas. They were buying cards of the Bat Boy at that point, really.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just because we haven't seen much success in Northern California in the baseball world. It's not going to have the effect like we think, but for the nation and for MLB and for the entire rating system, this couldn't have came out more perfect. The only tie that would be Northern California is the fact that Judge is from Linden.
Right.
And he does come back on the off season. I've actually seen him at the Linden Target, at Lathrop Target. Yeah. Didn't want to mix that up. So the Lathrop
Target, looking for cards like
he was,
Mosaic and stuff.
Well, he was looking in he's like, is there any left? And then there you go. Well, Whitey Gleason was here. Whitey Gleason was here and he cleaned us out and got all the blaster boxes. I will tell you though, speaking of retail, Costco came out with a specific retail product for them called Donruss Football 2024. And they come in these large boxes with 8 packs and a big jumbo downtown size product. People have been scooping those up like crazy. They're really hot right now. Secondary market, they're approaching $100 a box. Costco had them for like, I don't know, $55 or whatever it is.
They don't anymore.
You can't find them. I'll tell you that people are running up to me. Will you buy them? Will you buy them? And at some point I bought some of them, but I just, but it's really hot product. If you see some on your Costco shelves, definitely go buy some.
Real quick before we go to break, doubling on Aaron Judge. How does his cars do?
They do great.
Do they?
Yeah, they do great. His chicks and dudes love the long ball. And that's the truth. Yeah. And if you think about Giancarlo Stanton, formerly Mike, that guy was on pace to be one of the great players of our generation until the injury bug hit him. But they just love to see the home runs. And when you have Judge hitting 60 a year or every year and Ohtani hitting 57, like that's what people love. People don't go, man, that guy can really get a great batting average. It just so happens that these guys now are, and Jay, your background's in baseball. People are leading the league and hitting it like 317.
I know, man.
It's crazy. When you had Gwynn and you had Boggs hitting 340 and 350.
Yeah, I think literally Arise led the National League at 314.
Yeah, it was low. Some of the lowest you've seen in a long time. So I just don't think anything other than the long ball is really what's there. Hey, I know you have Jerry up against at the top of the hour. Can I sit on this bench, sit there? And I mean, I drove a long way to be here and I would love to continue on. But
tell you what, we'll go to break and we got Jerry Reynolds coming up and Jay and I'll talk.
I just want to listen.
We'll talk it over.
I'll remember that the next time I have tickets.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, great.
Of course.
I just want to hold this over your head.
The great Jerry Reynolds will break down the Kings breakdown last night when he joins us next, Sactown Sports.
Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1. Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1.
Hey, Marvel movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Playing this week, Venom, The Last Dance, the IMAX experience.
Everything will end.
The best theater to experience Venom's action-packed finale is the Esquire IMAX, with its 6-story screen and heart-pounding audio.
There comes a time in every man's life where you have to make a sacrifice.
Be the first to see Venom: The Last Dance. Grab your great seats today at IMAX.com/Sacramento.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
The garage won't open again.
We're all out of coffee.
Life has enough surprises. Your car shouldn't be one of them. Stockton Honda keeps your car worry-free, from routine maintenance to that something's not right moment. Our certified Honda experts know how to fix it right the first time.
Here you go, ma'am. You're all set.
Thank you.
Stockton Honda Service Department, keeping you ready for the road ahead.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Ginger.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Where did you come from?
Afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
If you made a list of the best people to talk Kings with all time, anywhere, this guy'd be at the top of just about everybody's list.
Very true. Very true.
Don't you think, Jay? Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Drive Guys
Very
here,
true.
Jay and Whitey.
And as much as I love you, he'd top you too.
That doesn't even bother me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not respect you if it were otherwise. Of course, all-time Kings icon, former assistant coach, head coach, announcer, Jerry Reynolds. How are you, Jerry?
You know, I'm pretty good. I was kind of hoping you would say all-time 80-year-old sex symbol, but you didn't come up with that.
I got to leave something for next time.
Okay, okay. I can live with that.
Yeah, my understanding is you may come on with us on a regular basis now, right? We're thrilled.
I certainly want to.
Yes,
I obviously can't think of any people I'd rather talk to. Obviously, you and Jay and Saint Simone when she's there, and then Kyle, and of course Imran. Hey, I guess he's not a regular there, but certainly sounds like he could be.
He thinks of himself as one, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I could see that.
Well, Jerry, what did you used to tell some of your players who came constantly late? What would you tell them?
Well, I'd tell them it's probably going to cost you a little money to start off with. You know, and money then was a little more important than it is now.
I'm still here, by the way. I'm just sitting quietly, Jerry, for respect for my elders and my icons. I'll just go back in the corner and get the insults.
Still hanging out.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Jerry, what were some of your first impressions of the Kings last night? Tough loss. What'd you make of all that?
Well, first the positives. I mean, I thought it was really an excellent first game. You're going against a top team that had lost their first game, so you knew you'd get them riled up a little bit. I was hoping they'd beat the Lakers, so they'd maybe be an easier time with them. But the game there, when you got a shot to tie or win at the end against, certainly they're going to be a top 3 team in the West. You can't be too upset, although they did. I thought had a great chance to win. That little run at the end of the third probably was the decider. I did think, and certainly with Randall and Edwards, they're the two guys that just are hard to guard. And really the Kings weren't able to slow either one of them down. So, I thought with the Lakers, Randall didn't have much of a game, although he was pretty good. But I think when you could just stop one of those two guys, the rest of the guys aren't really creators. And so was that. And then the thing that struck me on the negative, and I'm sure a lot of your callers have already mentioned different things, but with Sabonis 1 assist.
Yeah.
On Fox 14 shots. Really the offense, in other words, and I think with the DeMar, he is who he is. And he had a terrific game. He did the things he does. And I think that's all a positive, but I do sense that they're going to have to figure out a way to maybe go through Sabonis more and get a little more ball movement. And when DeMar gets it, he's a creator. He's going to ISO some. Well, you got to get more movement off him, instead of guys kind of a lot of standing around when he had the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Legend, that is very true. Right off the jump. That's why you are who you are. Joined by the legendary Jerry Reynolds.
And then, of course, on the negative, the bench just isn't itself yet. Right. Malik was terrific, but with Herter, whether he started or not, but he and Lyle's really not ready to go full tilt, and Keon, I think, is just kind of not sure what his role is at this moment, and those things have to get sorted out. But it sure seems to me like it's a really good team that should get better and win a lot of games.
Legend, how do you, because you've been in the position of general manager, of course, head coach, and many different other avenues, how would you operate from transitioning from the preseason over to the first game in regular season? It seemed like the Kings flipped the switch a little bit, especially early on, competing compared to what they did in the preseason. What would Jerry Reynolds be saying to his team from preseason, the first game?
Well, I think one thing that I'm not too surprised, because this is a veteran team, and having seen it, with other veteran teams over the years, that it's hard to get those guys to buy into preseason. They know what's ahead, the 82 game schedule, and they know that, winning preseason games means 0, which it does right now officially. They didn't win any, but it's been all forgotten. So I guess to your question, I think they flipped their own switch. They've been there, done that, and they know what's ahead of them, what's expected of them. And I think from an effort standpoint, I think you saw that. And I wasn't surprised. I think, I used to watch Webb and Vlade and those guys sleepwalk through preseason and turn it on,
Yeah. Jerry Reynolds with us. Jerry, I know that the lines between traditional positions have blurred, and I know we have a long ways to go, and you can't draw too many conclusions from one game, but do you think the Kings can get away with having DeMar DeRozan guarding opposing fours much this year?
It's going to be tough. I think that's, you hit on one of the real issues right away. This is a small team, and for them to consistently get by with it, they just are going to have to score at even a more efficient rate, and probably, again, not that I'm a fan of seeing teams take 50 3-pointers, but I think the Kings are probably going to find a way to get more good 3-pointers in the air. So, I mean, because for them to win, they need to score 120 a night, and I think a lot of nights they can, but because of their size, they're going to be have tough time stopping people. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. And, they're not going to be able to protect the rim very well. And one thing they should be able to do is to be able to put, pressure on the wings and pressure on the guards. We saw that in the first quarter, but we didn't see as much of it late. And I think as the bench gets healthier and stronger, Coach Brown could maybe feel a little more confidence in that, because I just think you have to get the game stretched out. We saw in the first quarter, at least, where Gobert and their bigs were having a tough time catching the ball within 20 feet of the basket. And the Kings, that's where they're at their best. So, it's easy to say, hard to do, but I really do think that the advantage the Kings have is quickness and speed, and they got to find more ways to take advantage of it.
Legend Coach Mike Brown last night in the post game, not sure if you had an opportunity to hear him. He talked about the distribution of minutes and not being comfortable with the rotation just yet. And I know injuries have played a part in it, of course, and you kind of talked about that. How did you see the minute dispense last night, and what's your take on that?
Well, I think it's really a tough situation for Coach Brown. I think it's going to probably take him 10 games to honestly get a complete feel of that, what he wants to do, because as it is, if you're trying to work, Herter in and Lyles in, well, that takes an effect on Keon Ellis maybe, and we really didn't get a chance to use McLaughlin, who really played well in preseason, and McDermott got a few minutes here. So I just think I don't know, how he could possibly know exactly what he wants to do yet. And of course, his team has to totally get a little more healthy to where he could decide if he wants, Herter to be a 30-minute player, or Lyles to be a 20-minute player, or Keon Ellis to have a bigger role. I mean, the only negative I'd take is I just think, and I've said this before, and I'll say it till my dying days, which I hope ain't for a day or two at least, but Malik Monk's got
a couple of years.
Yeah, Malik Monk needs to play more.
Wow.
That's all. I mean, he's one of your 5 best players. He's one of your 4 best players. So, I mean, to me, I would worry about getting him more minutes and not worry too much about the rest of them.
Wow.
Get your best players out there, get them all the minutes that they can stand physically, without losing something, and then sort out the reserve thing as it goes.
So are you, Jerry, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but are you suggesting that perhaps Malik Monk should be starting?
Well, if you wanted to put your best 5 out there, he would be. Now, I don't have a problem with him coming off, because he's still one of your 5 best players, and that way you get better when he does come in. So I get Coach Brown there. I don't have a bit of problem with it. But I guess my issue kind of is, and I'm second guessing, and I'm sorry, because he's a great coach, but this is a guy that ought to be playing 30 minutes as well.
Interesting.
Wow.
Jerry Reynolds with us here.
Yeah, well, I mean, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you, Legend, but we don't hold rank anymore at the in the organization.
Good thing, Jay. It's probably a good thing we don't. But I think Coach Brown knows more than both of us put together.
Yeah, that might be true. That might be true, and I might be deducting from your knowledge, so I'll be the one to admit that. Yeah. Legend, from one of the things that caught my eye last night was the aggressiveness of Keegan Murray. And I've heard you say it a few times. You kind of need Keegan to be a little more aggressive. What were your thoughts on him coming out and really kind of like not only taking the Timberwolves, not only pushing the action towards the Timberwolves, but really kind of dictating some of the action for the Kings?
Yeah, I just think he's just going to he's a baller. I mean, one of those guys that I say fans sometimes will claim, well, he doesn't show any emotion. I say, well, you don't like how Keegan plays, you wouldn't like Tim Duncan much either. Because I mean, how you don't have to pound your chest and all that to be aggressive and tough minded, and he brings it every night. And like you said last night, I mean, he's 11 rebounds. He's trying to guard the toughest guy on the opposition just about every night, and maybe to a fault sometimes. But he's right on track to be one of the better players the Kings have had in its history. I don't know if he can be a multiple All-Star or anything, but too early. But he just keeps getting better. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else you could ask other than that.
Jerry, I know that you can't look at any one thing and say, "Oh, that's why they lost the game." So I'm not saying that the fact that they couldn't make the three at the end was why they lost, but it is, it's an interesting bit of strategy there. 2.5 seconds to go. The play they drew up, Mike Brown said that. He said he thought DeMar's pass to Keegan, he said he lobbed it a little, had too much air under it, so that gave the defense a chance to close out. Just as somebody who's drawn up plays in that situation, they got a halfway decent look with the double clutch. Anyway, what is as a coach, what did you think of the play and the sequence there in the very last possession for the Kings?
Well, I really liked the play. Mm-hmm. It's like Coach Brown said, if he could just got the ball a little quicker, and they defended it well.
Yeah.
And part of the reason was, like, say, a little too much air in the ball. The other defender could run at him, and that kind of caused the double clutch. But, I mean, with 2.4, you're not going to be too selective. But I like the idea of really getting a play call and, try to structure something, at least make sure you get a shot. And, and it wasn't ideal, but under 2.4, and like I say, it really could have worked. I mean, I was under the feeling when he caught the ball that he's going to get a better shot and make it win. I really did, but then I have been wrong before.
I love that win, and we talked about it earlier, and I know there's only 2.5 left. You don't have a lot of options, but I love it when a team in that situation, Coach, when they run a play rather than, run 1-4 flat. I appreciated that.
Oh, me too. I just hate that. I mean, there's so many teams have done that. And, I mean, it's like the Lakers of old. They used to do that with Kobe. Well, Kobe could do it.
Yeah.
I don't see Kobe out there anywhere.
Jerry Reynolds is with us. Yeah. What'd you think of Domas knocking down threes last night?
Yeah, it's great. And I think that's something, to me, they were all very comfortable threes. They were giving it to him, so that's the ones he should take. I mean, I thought, there's so many good things, and I mean, his stroke looks good. I mean, of course, he was 37% last year, and I don't. That's kind of one of the reasons I wouldn't mind maybe, if Coach Brown might want to experiment a little bit with Lynn and Sabonis in there together, because clearly that 3-point shot in the corner is not a difficult shot for him.
Joined by the legendary voice, Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, this is something we had a conversation yesterday, and I know you're probably up in the cabin in Tahoe not listening to the show, and I get it. I would rather be where you were than where I was yesterday. With that being said, we were talking about Keegan sticking Ant-Man versus, and I brought something to the table of maybe we should start to ask De'Aaron Fox to be a two-way guy. And I think that's the next level on top of some other things. But if we're really asking De'Aaron to be a superstar and pick up some of the guys like Ant-Man, or as we see KD doubled up and stuck James Harden in the fourth quarter, what do you think about having a guy like De'Aaron play two ways and expect him to do it at a high level?
Well, I totally agree. I think he's capable, and I think he'd probably like the challenge. And I think against Ant, I mean, especially even if you didn't want to do it for 30 minutes, but in spots, key spots in games after timeout calls or switching to where you want him on Ant. I think he could kept Ant in front of him. No disrespect to Keegan, because I think he's maybe a guy that he can guard a lot of forwards, but I think guards like that might be a little bit of a stretch. I know he did okay on Curry, but Curry doesn't have at this stage doesn't have the strength or even the explosiveness that Ant does now. But I agree with you, Jay. I really think De'Aaron would take it on, and I think we saw last year he liked that. Now, you wouldn't want to do it all the time, I think, because you wouldn't want him in foul trouble. But I think with somebody like Edwards, you want a fresh body on him, and then somebody that's quicker than he is. And the only person I know quicker than he is on the Kings is a guy named De'Aaron Fox.
Right. Jerry, have you seen anything else? I know we're only a couple of days into the season, but you're there with your bowl of popcorn. I know watching a lot of games. Have you seen anything from any team or any player that has stood out to you so far as who's going to be good, what surprised you, anything like that?
Well, I think Memphis is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know just how good, but they're going to be good. I think Phoenix is going to be better.
Yeah.
I think getting Tyus Jones was really good. So I think they're better prepared, and I think the coach, I think they're going to get a little better coaching. So I think they could move up. I think Denver, conversely, I just don't see them being as good as I thought they might be. They're just so thin.
Mm-hmm.
So offhand, I think that would be some of the things. As far as one other thing, I haven't seen all the rookies yet, but I think this rookie crop may go down to be one of the weaker crops in recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not saying there won't be some all-stars, but I don't know if anybody could tell you who they'd be.
Mm-hmm.
You're not talking about guys that jump off the page at you pretty quick, that we've seen, you see generally every year. I mean, probably the best one I've seen is probably Reed Shepherd.
Yeah.
He looks very comfortable, and I don't know that he's, star level, but at least looks like he can play big minutes against good teams,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One team, Jared, that I think might be better this year. I don't think they're going to be great. And you tell me if, oh, that's good, or, hey, you've been out in the sun too long. I kind of like the team that Atlanta's putting together. I don't think they're going to do much yet, but I think they're coming together. What do you
tell
think?
him he's been out in the sun too long.
I don't know if you've been out in the sun too long, but honestly, I think they're on the right track. But I think the track has got a ways to go down the road.
Yeah, it's a long track. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a quarter horse.
Hey, they're going to pick up some cars along the way.
All right, Jer. So just to summarize, you said excellent first game, all things considered. You said the bench, they got to sort that out, and maybe still a little too small. Those are the big issues going forward. Fair enough?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the only thing that worries me. I think they can solve just about all the rest of them. That you can't make people grow. So that might be, like I say, that would be the thing, to get bigger. It might be to try Sabonis some at 4. He played it in Indiana and played it pretty well with Turner.
Yeah.
So I think they could do that at times to get a little bigger and protect the basket better, because Lynn does pretty good in there. And use their quickness, use the speed and quickness. If you got a lot of guys, McLaughlin. I mean, so maybe play some guys, maybe a few less minutes, but get out and stretch the game out. You want to get the game off the board. That's the main thing.
Was last night kind of a battle of tempos? Did Minnesota want to slow it down, and the Kings were trying to push it?
Well, I think the Kings definitely wanted to push it more than they did. I mean, not that they're a half-court team, but they're definitely a one-on-one kind of team.
Uh-huh.
Where between Randall and Edwards, they're both ball stoppers, very efficient ball stoppers, but, a little bit like DeRozan is very efficient.
Yeah.
But the ball does tend to stop. So, that's how they play, and I think that's how they're going to play. And I think probably why they made the trade, I've always said, people look at things differently, but if I were Minnesota, I thought it made a great sense for them to make that trade, because I think they know they can't beat Dallas or Oklahoma City if they have to play Gobert at center on high pick and rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And so now with Randall and Naz Reid, Naz Reid can play that.
That's your guy, huh?
And they're still big enough.
Yeah. And then the final thing that you mentioned, if it were up to you, you'd like to see Malik play a little more, right?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
And start.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I just think he's an elite player, and on this team, I mean, he's certainly one of the 5 best, if not 4 best. And so, why not figure out a way?
Sure.
If you can figure out a way to get him 30 minutes, I think that makes you a little bit better.
Great stuff, Jerry. We really appreciate it. Last thing, how many points are your Chiefs going to win by this week against the Raiders?
It's a great question. It depends on if both teams show up. I think they'll get the win. I think, obviously getting Hopkins is a big get for them.
Uh-huh.
And, but hey, I love football, but I know this just like you guys do, that, man, 6 games in, injuries are part of every sport, but in football, it's a constant. And so until you get into the playoffs and know what your health status is, I mean, the Chiefs are good enough to win it all, but so are 3 or 4 other teams, and really the Niners are. So, maybe the Rams are if they be healthy.
Yeah. All right, Jerry.
Anyway, great talking to you guys, and I hope Imran doesn't bring the show down too much. But
I'm just gonna get in the car. Just gonna get in the car and get back in traffic.
Okay. All right,
Thank you, Jerry. Have a great weekend. We appreciate it. Yeah, Jerry Reynolds joining us on Sactown Sports. Jerry's going to be with us all season long.
I love him so much.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just such nostalgia for me, listening to him since I was young and watching him. I remember the Kings played a preseason game at Spano Center in Stockton, and Jerry was there as the coach of the Kings at the time. It was in 1989, I believe it was, somewhere around there. And he was so cool. He signed my card. I go, Mr. Reynolds, will you sign my card?
Mm-hmm.
And of course I brought out the Jerry Reynolds card, and he goes, that's not me. And it was the Jerry Reynolds that played for the Magic, who happened to be African-American. And I just was so nervous to meet him. And I said, oh, you're right. It's the wrong Jerry Reynolds card. Let me get the other one.
Do you know that he said he'd be on the road with the Kings and he'd get calls for Jerry Reynolds from, ladies, and he'd have to tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not the one that you're looking for.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Well, he did describe himself as a sex symbol as he came on the radio, so you just never know.
Right. So some interesting comments there from Jerry Reynolds. We'll look at those when we come back. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Did you know that replacing garage doors is the biggest return on investment homeowners can get on improvements? Jason Ross here, and let me tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, a family-owned and operated company with third-generation owners that's been in business for 71 years right here in Sacramento. With new garage doors from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, you'll not only get the wow factor, but you'll also know that you're working with a well-respected and proven company. Residential and commercial, brand new garage doors, or repairs to existing doors, they do it all. Take advantage of their free at-home estimates on new garage doors or check out the showroom with no appointment needed. And while you're at it, mention me, Jason Ross, or Sactown Sports and receive $100 off a new garage door paired with a new garage door opener. Check out their website at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Calm and cool Saturday morning. Temperatures will start in the upper 40s with sunshine. We'll see increasing clouds and afternoon highs in the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Drape's with a team in LA, and Drape's going to try to reach us today. We're not sure about that because it looks like they got pushed back a little bit, huh, Jay? So
yeah.
We're hoping to hear from him, but obviously, if he can't do it, he can't do it.
A Friday,
yeah,
early evening, late afternoon in La La Land. You know, it's a lot going on, baby.
Absolutely.
It's been plenty of Fridays. I've been frustrated up and down the 405, the 110, the 105, the 5. I keep going.
It's hard to believe. A couple of years ago, one of our daughters was working at Loyola Marymount. We went down to visit her on a weekend. And we'd say, oh, let's go do this. And they'd say, her and her husband, you know, Darren, they'd say, well, we can't get there now. Like,
oh, no.
Yeah, say, no, we just can't go there now.
Yeah.
You know, how about this place? No,
nah.
You can't get there now.
You know, coming from here, living in Northern California, being from Sacramento, most of the time you always go by, that's about 20 miles. That's about 15 miles away. At least when I was growing up, that's the way it felt. And then when I moved to LA, it was always about time. It never was how far it was because you just never knew, you know, the timing of it. And so I tell the story quite often. I lived in the South Bay area, which is El Segundo, Hawthorne, all the way, you know, that type of area right by LAX. And I would have to go down the 405, literally going back towards the Valley area. Right. And that's where when I was working at another network. And sometimes from my porch to the parking garage, 20 minutes, sometimes 2.5 hours. And it is insane. Like when people are like, dude, that's insane. It is insane. It's crazy. It is super crazy how that operates.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Emran Pilati is here from True Sports Cars. I have a question for you, Emran, from Campy. Emran, is Jerry Reynolds on a card? He actually is.
Of course. I put the link in there. There's an Amazon link I put in there. Jerry Reynolds is on a card. He's in a 1989 Hoops card.
Yes.
It's a nice looking card.
I have it. If you I can actually have him autograph it.
This is if you take a look and see the card, he's basically has his face saying, Emran Pilati's on the radio instead of me. This is the face he's making on the card right now. I don't know if you've seen it right there.
And actually, I'll say this.
Folded and
I bought the card at True Sports Cards.
How about
You bought the Jerry Reynolds?
I did.
Now there's another. So it's Jerry Reynolds card number 161 out of the Hoops basketball. It is his one card. Don't read the back because it does have the stats on there where he has a 3.34 winning percentage. But that was a tough
34%. Yeah.
1 out of 3.
He overperformed. According to my analytics, it should have been like 29%.
According to your analytics?
Yes. Yeah, my
You
Jerry
seen that
Lytics.
team?
Yeah.
I told you that. Never mind. We have a name for the show that he just won't use, that you won't use. I've been wanting to use it, but we'll just stick with card parts for now. But I had.
Hey Jay, which is a bigger like? You don't do it when you're on the radio. Moving your microphone when your microphone is on, or just eating a donut in the middle of a segment.
My wife is listening. Thank you for outing me.
Well, you're on YouTube.
She's not on YouTube. Why don't you just describe what I'm wearing while you're at it?
Yeah, you're a polka dot.
Yes. Man, you just outed. Man, dude, why you do that to me, dog? Come on, man.
People are commenting. Yeah. What you eating? And then True Sports Cards, chocolate donuts.
I will tell you
I guess
what.
That was you, right?
Jessica wasn't reading the YouTube.
Okay,
She was
all right.
listening.
Yes.
I'm eating the celery as she told me to.
It's an amazing assortment we have left for a Friday
Victim.
afternoon, like we said earlier.
Of celery.
Yeah. And some
Dipped in protein
carrot sticks.
powder. Right.
Yeah. What stuck out to you, Jay, about all that Jerry had to tell us? I thought it was interesting because in addition to breaking down what happened, he has a number of things there where he says, watch for this, and I might do this.
Yeah. Well, 2 things. The first thing for me was the Malik Monk needs to get more minutes. And that's something I've been a proponent of it. I understand. And even Jerry within the same answer, he said, look, I understand why Coach Brown, who's a lot sharper than we are, continues to have Malik Monk come off the bench. I get it. I see the positives. I see the negatives. But I also see, and he also said this, meaning Jerry Legend also said he's one of the top 5 players on this team. And you just got to get him more minutes. Whatever that is, I don't know. I don't get paid to do that. But I thought that was pointing because that's an argument that we're forever going to have in Sacramento until he either starts or one way or another. And Coach has done this, but I think Coach is sharp. Coach Brown is sharp, and the Kings organization is sharp enough to understand you never say never, right? He never says never, but he always says, I like how Malik comes off the bench. And so I just think that is pointed by Jerry. And then the last thing I thought about too was, he recognized that Keegan is doing something a little more different. And he said, every single year it seems to grow. And it's only one game. I get it. But to me, fellas, I'm telling you, man, Keegan looked a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
He looked a little more like, you know what? I'm comfortable. And even last year, where I think people were asking him, Coach Brown was asking him, players were asking him, he, to me, just never looked comfortable of saying, like, I'm the guy. And I know that's an attitude. You have to walk it, talk it, and believe it. Last night, to me, he like, dude, I'm the best player on the team for the Kings right now.
If you think about how he was attacking the middle, let's say that free throw line extended, he'd come up, and I think it was Randall that was guarding him. I can't remember. And he closed out on him. And then Keegan normally last year would have kicked back out to somebody on the perimeter, somebody on 3. But then what he did was he did that fadeaway. He turned around, did a fadeaway, made that shot. It's like that's growth in Keegan. He's doing something different this year.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
Really good
and
last
the
night.
other thing too, I was just thinking about what Jerry said about the 30 minutes for Monk. A little bit of a challenge if you take Monk and move him into that starting lineup, move Kevin to the bench or whoever. Who is your scorer off the bench truly? If Herter isn't cooking, if Lyle shots off, tell me who's going to score truly off that bench, because you have then 5 people on the court as starters that could drop 20. Every single one of them can.
Yeah.
So why would you take that and have somebody that can't really be that instant offense for you and put them in the starting lineup when it's really not needed?
Yeah, I think we all know that Monk's not going to start, right, as long as Mike Brown's the coach.
Right,
Because even last year, like Fox would be out and they wouldn't
Doesn't
start.
matter.
So he's not going to start. but he could. He
they
can't.
go third point guard. They go off ball guard.
Yeah. He can play more minutes.
And
To your point,
we still don't know what Carter's going to do either when he injects himself in February.
Yeah, I think that's really intriguing. When you're talking there about who's going to bring offense off the bench, that could be Kevin Huerter. And I know right now it's not, but ideally he could do that.
If he could bring that 8 to 12 points a game off the bench, I think that's a perfect role for him as he acclimates getting back into the regular. Side note, and I think this is really important that we talked about during the sports show. My brother-in-law, Stevie, just sent me a video of him listening to me talking about me eating donuts, and he group chatted my wife in there. So
just no way around it.
I can't get away from this.
Man,
and my wife says,
come on, man.
Jessica said, his feet don't fail him now.
Yeah. So
as in, like, I'm not gonna be able to fill my feet with all the sugar I'm eating.
Well,
this is going well.
You're gonna blame me for mentioning you eating the donut, or are you gonna blame yourself for eating the donut?
How did they get here?
I don't know.
Yeah. I brought the Starbreads last time and you didn't eat it. You ate some. I didn't say one word about that.
About what, me eating what you brought and shared with us?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
Well, your wife doesn't listen, so it doesn't matter. That's the easy thing.
Yeah,
just have a wife that doesn't listen to you on the radio and you're fine.
She listens. I don't see the downside to eating that delicious treat. It was wonderful.
That's right. That's right.
When we were talking about the assists, and I mentioned earlier, remember, Jay, before Emran got here, I said, Sabonis only had one assist. Oh, that's interesting. And Jerry says, that's not good.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Need him to be a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, they just need to run the offense through him.
It wasn't smooth, man.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell, talking about card parts, it were definitely within on the court. It's never going away. There were times where, as I said, the ball never was passed. And I can think of three times I called it out last night, like, man, pass the ball. Yeah. And when I say pass the ball, it wasn't like someone was ball hogging. It was the fact that the person who got the rebound and or got the pass up, the first initial pass, never passed it to anyone. Mm-hmm. And so, to me, at times, offense looked clunky. And DeMar talked about it last night in post game. He's like, look, I was trying to let some of the bench get in their rhythm. No doubt they were probably trying to let Kevin Huerter kind of get back into rhythm. As we know, De'Aaron Fox was a little banged up, maybe, or just didn't have his rhythm. I don't want to make excuses for him, but we do know this: Domantas Sabonis is the constant, and they could have ran the offense through him and went back to some of their old ways.
I think your frustration yesterday, Jay, when we were sitting there, was that you wanted to have Sabonis be more aggressive getting to the cup. Like you were having a real hard time with him just kind of laying it up and just kind of being soft around
dunk more. And the more I think about it, I understand that. The more I think about it, I think he's kind of a 1 foot jumper. So when he's coming down the lane off 1 foot, boom, but underneath 2 foot jumper, I think it's a lot tougher for him. But it's just a guess. I don't know.
Well, he's a big pivot guy.
I don't know anything about dunking.
Are you a high flyer?
No.
You were a tap glass guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottom of the net grabber?
Yeah.
Give me some of those 8 foot rims, and I might.
You might touch the iron?
Dude, I hurt my finger. What'd you do? I got a cut on the bottom of the net.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man, what about you, Em? Could you tap that glass?
I will tell you what, man. I can swat at that net so hard and miss.
And miss.
Yeah. That guy's a shot blocker. Look at him just swatting away. Oh, side note, because I was going tangents. I walked into a spider web yesterday in front of my house with my neighbors who I don't talk to looking at me. I looked like an absolute crazed person. I'm swatting away. I'm outside. They never see me, right? Because I never come outside. Yeah. I see them for the first time in months, and I'm over there just waving my. It was bad, man.
That guy's crazy.
That guy.
I told you about him. Yeah.
Where do you think he lives at?
He comes out of his garage. He talks about cards, and then he goes back.
Looks like a card part.
Let me ask you. This is a personal question, since your wife is answering, and I know now you have to kind of answer it for real.
Yeah, of course, why not?
I've had, we've been blessed to have plenty of friends who are athletes and musicians and artists and stuff. And you go to their house and they just got a plethora of whatever they are, their profession is. With that being said, how many cards do you have at your house?
Zero. Yeah, zero. They used to live in my house.
Okay.
And then when
nothing in the garage.
Zero.
Nothing in the backyard.
Nothing.
Nothing in the shed.
The story I heard is that when they moved, his wife said, Okay, now
Put her high heel down. Put the feet
this
down.
is all your stuff. None of this comes into
It
our
went
new house.
on the moving truck. We hired some movers at the time. They loaded everything up in the truck, and as soon as the door went, the back door.
Yeah.
They
What did it do
slammed it
again?
shut.
What did it do? There you go. Yeah.
I don't even know if that's the sound that it makes.
That's it.
I didn't do it, so I was at the other house. And so she goes, now that this is all packed, it's not coming back in the house. And I said, you waited until they the door before you said that? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? I have 3 bedrooms worth of it. And she's like, I don't care what you do with it. It's not coming in the house. I go, well, then I'm going to open a card shop. And she went, fine. And I went, did she just give me permission to open a baseball card shop?
Yeah.
She did.
Cha-ching. There's my sound effect.
And we are having a little bit of a disagreement. And the only disagreement that we have at this moment is she will not let me get a PS5. I'm an adult man.
Why not? Are you?
She thinks that I'm going to.
Would
stay
you be
up
an
on,
addict?
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's not the point. Like, I have self-control except for
That's not the
donuts and,
point.
Yeah.
PS5.
That's not the only disagreement you're having right now, by the way. Yeah. Your diet is also in play.
I just got to say something, man. This is the therapy hour that I need.
Kings fans need some therapy today, too. Who wants to be the 2? Anybody? Next with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesmen. Plus, with over 400 new Ram trucks available, you're sure to find that truck you need at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
That is some of the best savings you've had all year, Chad.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period.
15,000 total net savings after 8,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons, 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance, must have qualifying trade-in, and 1,500 commercial bonus cash. Must have proof of business ownership. At least 5 of this net savings. Coupons available while supplies last. See dealer for details.
It's time to load up your calendar with all the hottest events. This is your Sactown Sports live events calendar. First up, all this month, take the family to Dave's Pumpkin Patch for hay rides, corn mazes, and fall fun for everyone. It's the perfect way to celebrate the season. Next, David Spade brings his sharp wit to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on November 22nd. And the comedy continues with a hilarious Russell Peters taking the stage at Hard Rock Live on November 23rd. And if you're looking for some legendary music, Legends of Motown will have you grooving to all your favorite classics at Thunder Valley on the same night, November 23rd. Then get festive with the Jersey Boys Midtown Men Holiday Show on December 8th at Thunder Valley. And kicking off the new year, Dylan Scott with Jackson Dean and Avery Anna are bringing their country hits to Thunder Valley on January 10th. So get out there and enjoy the best live events Sacramento has to offer. For tickets and event details, visit SactownSports.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery.
One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery Hammer and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
It's a Flashback Friday with the Drive Guys. Drapes in LA with the Kings. We may hear from him before we're done, and we may not. We were expecting to hear from him about 5, and because of travel issues being what they are, we're not sure we're going to hear from him. So hopefully that'll be a better night for the Kings tomorrow night than last night was. But hey, I'm trying to find that note of optimism. Jay, Emran Pilati with us. You know, as I came in, Emran, today, and I was thinking, yeah, that's fine. There were some good signs, but this is supposed to be a good team, and a good team's supposed to win these games. So I'm not pressing the panic button, but I just think they should have won. But now after talking to Jerry, I'm feeling a little more mellow about that. A little bit.
I'm just hoping tomorrow we have lots and lots and lots of Bronny James, because that would be good for the Kings.
Yeah, that would be.
Right?
Right.
Lots of Bronny James.
Uh-huh.
Play as much as you want. It's historic. Make sure him and his dad are playing at all times.
That's right.
Play
That's
as much
right.
Bronny James as possible, JJ. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I queued up something. Would you like to hear it?
Nope.
Here we go. I queued up something. For those of you that don't know, this is Whitey.
Card Saturday, they're riding with you. Best card show in the country, it's true. So saddle up and listen, find out what you've been missing. You can be a card part too.
Card parts theme.
That was Whitey Gleason sending me that on a Saturday
said that
morning.
for you, just for not to
That
play
is
on the
now,
radio.
it's the new theme song of the show for tomorrow at the True Sports Card Show at tomorrow
My
at 10 a.m.
That's
It has now bumped out the hip hop intro that I went with.
That's a mistake.
That is now the theme song. And
I
it'll be,
said that for your personal amusement.
and let me tell you, I was amused,
Okay.
and I was amused so much that it's now the theme song for the
All
True
right.
Sports
Your
Card Show.
son liked it, right? So that makes me feel.
I mean, he just stood there and went, "Oh, what's this?"
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. That's kind of what I think a lot of fans did last night when they saw what Kevin Huerter and Keon Ellis did, right? Kind of looked at it like,
Were you surprised that Keon only played 11 minutes? I was.
I didn't realize it till I looked at the box, and I know Jay was talking about that. To be honest, I am surprised
I mean,
when I played 11 minutes.
I think that when Ant-Man started cooking and you're like, he's starting to, you could see him heating up. You really saw him heating up. I think I made some comment and you go, here we go. Cause I made a comment. You jinxed us is what you told me. And I actually did. I think he scored like 25 points after I made the comment of, oh, they've really shut him down tonight. And then he just went off. And I feel like that's when Mike has to put in, Mike, like we're friends. Coach Brown needs to put in somebody like Keon and say, do something about this right now. Use all 6 of your fouls, get rough on him, do whatever you need to do, because he just went off.
I'm just a little discouraged because before the season started, we had this debate. Who's your starting 2? Oh, it looks like it's going to be Kevin Huerter. We knew that Keon Ellis did a lot of really good things at the end of the year, but last night, neither one of them played well, and that's going to happen. I know it's one game, I know, but you go from, well, you've got good choice either way. And then last night it looked like, wow, I'm not sure either one of them's playing very well right now. So all of a sudden that position, when it looked like there was so much depth there, I mean, one of those guys has to start playing better.
But what's very well, right? So 11 minutes and 20 minutes. What's well? Did they give up somebody scoring 25 points against them specifically?
Well, I just thought neither one of them really had much of a positive impact for the team. And again, I know it happens. Yeah.
I don't think scoring is the issue. It's the defensive part of it is where we're at. I mean, we're not the 140 Kings like we were 2 years ago, but
Jerry Reynolds on this show just said they need to score about 120 to win a game. Right?
That might be the case with the current way that they're playing defense.
That was another thing we forgot about, where I forgot that Jerry said this team needs to score 120 to win a game. Yeah.
Even if they were back and forth, and we were watching that game, even if they're back and forth, Kings scoring 2 or get fouled and make 1 or 2 free throws versus them coming down on the other side of the court and hitting 3 after 3 after 3, you're just never going to get caught up.
See, Campy says, Whitey, not your best effort about the song. I just did this dumb thing on my phone that I sent to you as a joke.
It wasn't a joke to me. I thought it said in the text, if you want me to show up on your show on Saturdays, this must be the theme song, end quote. It says it right there.
It was a joke. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sorry, Campy. Well, try harder next time.
Could you make it a little longer? That intro is very short. I need about 35 seconds.
Jay, if you're coaching the Kings, who's your start 2 guard tomorrow night?
Keon Ellis.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it 2 or 3 reasons. First of all, I think he allows Kevin Huerter to push to the bench and really work Kevin into the beginning of the season. Secondly, I think, as Keon said it a week and a half ago, he said, we played the soundbite. He said, when I start, there's less on my plate and I focus on defense and knocking down 1 or 2 shots. When I'm not, there's a little more that's going to be on my plate. And at this moment in Keon Ellis' career, I'm not sure I trust him to have more on his plate. I'd rather him stay with the sides than the actual meat, right? And so that's the second reason. And the third reason is this. I said this, I don't, to you guys off the air, pulling back the curtain, I don't believe, and I won't say rushing, because they didn't rush Kevin Huerter into what we saw last night. But I'll say this, I don't think there was enough ample opportunity and time between what we heard just 2 weeks ago, like, oh, he's back, versus, oh, he's starting. It transpires quickly. And when you come out and have a game like he did last night, and you judge it how you want to, bad, terrible, good, average, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't effective. And because it wasn't effective, it now opens the doors for the Kings Kingdom to start to question what's going on with Kevin Huerter. And there's multiple reasons behind that. Trade value, helping this team, confidence level, which we know he kind of struggled with, it sounds like, last year. None of those things were helped last night, and none of those things are going to continue to be helped when you put him in the position and and I get it, it's professional. I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm also saying, as a coach, coaching staff, things sometimes you can help your players. And I know Mike Brown and the coaching staff, that's what they want to do. I know they're holding him accountable, being professional, but those are multiple reasons why I think as of yesterday, Keon should have started.
I think because of the reasons you just mentioned, you're locked in right now to starting Huerter again.
Yeah, I think you go 5 games with Huerter.
I think you have to give him a little leeway, because if he's back and you're starting, he has one game where, to your point, Emron, he wasn't very good. He wasn't horrible. He's got to make shots. He didn't make shots outside. But after one game,
quiet.
He didn't make shots. And if you're going to sit him down after one game, then all of a sudden, for him, it's like, wait, what's going on? I don't think you can afford to do that.
And I would tell you that
shot the ball 4 times.
That's probably how.
Right.
And 3 of those were in the second half.
Yes.
Right. So he
sat down for a long time.
He did. And I'm looking at right now, Malik came in at the 5:30 mark, right around then. So he spelled Huerter after about 6.5 minutes. Keon came in for Fox roughly about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. That's a nice tap in, tap out. I think that Huerter in the first 6 minutes, let him see if he can cook a little bit. If he hits a 3 or 2, maybe leave him in a little longer, have Malik come in for Fox instead. Just get Kevin going, because we know that Kevin making 2 or 3 threes a game can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Experience the classic rock you know and love with Little River Band this fall, only at the Nugget Casino Resort. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number. What do you think, Emron? What caller number?
78.
Nope.
Too high?
Too high.
Okay, 74.
Nope.
Okay, let's go with 4.
Caller 4. Does that work, Jay?
That works for me.
All right. Caller number 4 right now to score that pair of tickets to check out the Little River Band at Nugget Casino Resort in Reno. Get an automatic entry for the grand prize drawing of an inclusive one-night stay after the show.
Who's in the Little River Band?
I don't know, but they have Emma walking through the park and reminiscing.
I don't know, and then you sang a song.
Yeah, so that's Little River Band. And time for a cool change. They had many, many hits way back when. So when we come back, what Mike Brown admits he'll be working on. Next, Drive Guys Sactown Sports.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for the power, performance, and reliability of a new Super Start battery. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Tesla, keeping it real tour. Saturday, November 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Tesla, live. The multi-platinum rock band returns with special guest, Fuel. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Tesla, keeping it real tour.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. And participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named the top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue, Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
KHD KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We always miss Kyle Draper when he's not here. But the good thing is today, Drape's not here. He's in LA. We're going to hear from him in just a moment. And I'm swimming in box scores. I got game box scores. I got quarter by quarter box scores. And there's nothing he can do. The Kings last night falling, of course, to the Minnesota Timberwolves 117-115. Is he ready to go, Jay? Okay, we're going to get to Kyle Draper in just a moment here. But Mike Brown last night, it's interesting after the game. He stressed the positives, and he also talked about one of the challenges he has right now is trying to figure out that rotation.
You could see just by the minutes that I'm still not comfortable with my rotation. I don't want DeMar to average 43 minutes a game. I don't want Keegan to average 43 minutes a game. And so that's something that I have to continue working on to help them out. I also don't want Domas at 38, and I don't want Fox at 37. So again, that's something that I have to continue working on with the group to figure out what's going to be good for us rotationally going forward. And it may take some time.
And I think the bottom line there is that Coach Brown right now has a couple of guys who maybe aren't quite ready. Got a couple guys he's not sure what to expect from them, and he's got some guys he may not trust completely. So he puts it on himself there. But last night he clearly rode the starters and Malik Monk, the top five. He rode them hard last night trying to bring home that victory and came up just short. But, yeah, let's see what last night's pre- and post-game host on NBC Sports California thought. Kyle Draper with us from L.A. What's up, Drapes?
My guys, what is happening? Your boy is in L.A. It's sunny out. The weather's beautiful. There's a vibe in here. I'm watching local news. They're talking about the World Series. Lakers got a game right across the street, man. All is well. All is well. Now, I know you guys didn't get to watch the pre- and post-game yesterday because you guys were courtside with Emeren.
Yeah.
But after last night's loss, I was measured. I wasn't upset. I wasn't throwing no box scores around or anything like that. It's just one game. I'm feeling good about the team right now.
Mm-hmm. Good. I just felt, Drapes, and I understand that, and I think that's how most fans feel, which is great. I just felt like this is a really good team, and it's unfortunate. It's only one game. There's nothing to panic about. It's just unfortunate they weren't able to bring that one home because they had the opportunity to against a team that you want to beat this year.
Yeah, and you just said it, man. They had the opportunity to. Like, this was a game they could have won. This was a game, let's be honest, they probably should have won.
Yeah.
Like, the Timberwolves outplayed them for that tough stretch there at the end of the third, and that changed everything. But I think the team's in good spirits, man. We flew down here. Ain't nobody hanging their heads or anything. I actually was encouraged by what I saw last night.
I'm glad to hear that, Drapes, because I was going to ask you that. What's the feeling on the plane and the long extended bus ride that you guys have been on? You got to know each other quite well today, a little more. Probably asked, truth or dare, whatever you guys do while you're on the bus. But beyond the fact of when you got on the plane and got off the bus, you see confidence. You still see bravado. What you seeing from the squad?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. I see a team that, probably knows they let one slip away yesterday, last night. I see a team that sort of knows, and DeMar talked about it last night, they're going to be scary good, man. Like, if I'm being honest, that was probably a B game from the Kings. That wasn't even their A game, really. Like, they weren't clicking on three-pointers. De'Aaron didn't go off. Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles just coming back. That was like a B- kind of game from the Kings. And they took Minnesota down and had a chance to win. And so, no doubt, I think they're feeling confident. Obviously, we got the Lakers tomorrow, rivalry game, if you will. And so I want to see how they come out tomorrow in this game.
Kyle Draper with us. And Drape's takes are coming up at some point. And that's totally up to him. He's going to throw to Drape's takes at some point here. So stick around for that. Drapes, I wanted to see what you thought of Mike Brown's comments we played just before we brought you on, and he talked after the game last night. I'm sure you guys talked about it, about how he's not comfortable with his rotation yet. He says it's something he's got to work on. Clearly, he just needs more production off the bench, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, outside of Malik, we didn't get much production from the bench. And, he's been running guys in practice, but it's not game speed. You can't really tell. And you got to also think about it, too, like this. With Trey Lyles only playing his first game, Kevin Huerter playing his first game, he didn't even use Jordan McLaughlin. And that's a guy we've all been high on. Dougie McBucket's only got a handful of minutes, a couple of minutes. And so I thought, what we saw last night from Mike in the rotation was, we're in this game. We're trying to win it. These are the guys I've seen all training camp. These are the guys that I know, what they can do when you talk about DeMar playing, 40-plus minutes. De'Aaron playing upwards, close to 40 minutes. Like, he went with his tried and true guys. I think as we progress and we see more from some of the other people, McLaughlin gets a chance, because Mike said it yesterday. And we talked about it yesterday from Beach Hut Deli, fellas. Like, there's no way, Mike's not going to want to play guys 40 minutes. He's not Tom Thibodeau. Take the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like, he's comfortable around 34, 35 minutes, max for these guys. And so I think it'll change, like you said, over the first 10 games or so.
Drapes, real quick, before you get on your move, what was your thoughts on, and we've kind of been trying to guess a little bit, not when I say we, I guess Kings Kingdom, Sacramento, fans of the Kings, of De'Aaron's play last night, and we've heard he might have banged some knees with Dante DiVincenzo. Like, what's your take on De'Aaron's game last night?
No, he was hobbled a little bit. Okay. I saw the video. I mean, but it wasn't, I don't think it was enough to fully limit him. I mean, he had a great look at a potential, game time shot or game winning shot that usually he makes, and he just missed it. And so I thought what I saw from De'Aaron, I thought some of their length might have limited him in terms of, that the shots weren't there, and so he turned it more into a facilitator. I got Whitey's favorite thing, the box score sitting right in front of me.
I got
shaking. Let me make sure it's real.
It's full. That's all I have in here, Drapes, right now is box scores everywhere.
But he only took 14 shots, had 11 assists. I thought this was a game where, afterwards we can look and say, oh, man, De'Aaron only had 15. But he pretty much, they did enough to win. If they only could have hit a couple of more shots. Yeah. Only could have knocked down a couple of more threes. I can't look at one thing and say, oh, man, they should have made their free throws or the turnovers killed them. Like, they played a pretty good game. Just give Ant-Man was hitting some shots there late, fellas. That dude was, I know that's Jay's guy, man, and that's my son's guy. That dude was on one. He only had 9 in the first half, 23 in the second half. There's a reason why, and we talk about this too. When you're competing for a championship, you got to have one of those guys. And Ant Edwards is he's quickly becoming one of those guys in the league.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, Drapes, about the matchups, because we've been talking about it for days. Who is going to guard whom? They ended up going with Keegan on Ant, and DeMar DeRozan guarding Julius Randle to a degree. Don't you think that how successful they're going to be this year, in some ways it depends on how much they're able to get away with that, with DeMar DeRozan guarding up?
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because when you look at it, I think that was a nightmare matchup, and I think the Timberwolves, when featured Julius Randle, especially in that first half, they said, "Oh, we got the mismatch right here." But look at the team we're playing tomorrow, the Lakers, with LeBron at the 4. DeRozan should be able to handle that, even though Keegan will play on him. But if you're talking about DeRozan playing up and playing a 4, not everybody has a Julius Randle at the 4 spot. Right. I look at a team like Boston. Tatum is the 4. DeMar could play Tatum. I just think that bruising, tough, physical style was a bad matchup. And that's why, we had talked about maybe starting Keon Ellis, so you could have Keon on Ant-Man and allow Keegan to play Julius Randle and bang with him. And so Mike decided to go with Kevin Huerter, and they went right at Julius Randle in that mismatch in the first half. Real
quick with the Kevin Huerter situation, I know you can only imagine with some people here in Sacramento, and thankfully you've been on the plane and the bus for most of the days. I know it's been a little hectic, but you might not want to hear what some of the Kevin Huerter remarks are. What are your thoughts on that? No, they've been bad. Not on our show, but they've been bad throughout Sacramento. Now here, we keep it real. It's one game. It's like what I say with the 49ers. It's early. It's one game. We got a long road. But what's your thoughts on Kevin Huerter's game last night?
No, I thought he did fine, man. I look at Kevin Huerter and think about it like this. And people want to say, well, Kevin Huerter didn't hit any threes. He only had 2 points. He played 13 minutes in the first half, fellas. The Kings held the lead. They were leading with Kevin Huerter playing 13 minutes. He only, if I'm correct, played 7 minutes in the second half. And so we can't look at it and say, oh, man, Kevin Huerter, with him back, we struggled and he was a sieve. He was a +9 last night. I want him to be, a little more aggressive with his shot taking. I want him to be confident knocking it down. But I thought first game, in terms of opening the floor, I mean, dude, they came out and scored 32 points in the first quarter. The offense was flowing. And they forced 11 turnovers in the first half. The defense was solid, too. We just let it go in the second half. And so I thought Kevin Huerter was fine. I give him like a B. First game in 7 months. I'd give him a B. It'll be interesting to see. Does Mike stick with it? I think he should. I think this guy, like I said, you got to give him 10 games or so. Let's see what he can do. And then if he's not making shots, then you can make some moves. But I was fine with Kevin Huerter last night.
Yeah, Domas last night, striping those threes. That's the smoothest left-handed stroke I've seen on a 3-ball since the last Lifetime Kyle Draper videos I've seen. It was amazing.
My guy Domas, man, he must have been watching my YouTube highlights.
I think so.
Or something like that. No, but there was one, too, where he just stepped right into it, man. No hesitation. And he knocked it down. And he knocked out a couple. And just seeing the reaction, not only of the crowd, but his teammates, too, fellas. I thought, he galvanized his teammates. When they saw him knocking down a couple of threes, 3 or 4, I'll take that. What did Mike Brown say? He wants him to take 3 a game? Well, hell, he took 4 last night and seemed in rhythm. And the thing about it, too, with Domas' shot, guys, when you watch it, it's so important he gets some arc on that ball. A lot of times he short arms it. It comes out flat. I thought last night he had a perfect arc on it. He was fantastic. Like to see those assist numbers go up, though, boys. I mean, 1 assist.
Yeah.
That's not our guy. Like we're used to him 7, 8, 9 assists. But I thought he did fine. Can I get the Drake's take now, to Whitey? Can I please get? Because I got some things I need to get off the chest. Jay, can I get my music, big fella? Can I get my music?
Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Yeah, Sacramento Kings fan. You know what? Usually after a loss, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm looking for answers. I don't need to look for answers. The answers are what we saw last night. This team is going to be really good. First, let me start with my guy, DeMar DeRozan. He was as good as advertised. I thought it was a small stretch in the fourth quarter where maybe he forced some things, but he was great. Getting to the line 14 times, guys. Knocking down 12 of them. Think about this. The Kings as a team shot 80% from the free throw line. Whitey, Jay, I will take that. And not only did they shoot 80%, fellas, they got to the line 35 times. When have we ever seen the Sacramento Kings team get to the line 35 times? To me, that is encouraging. I'm going to lean in on my guy, DeMar DeRozan. I thought he was massive. He took 14 free throws. We don't have guys like that usually. Maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 9. But this dude is going to live at the line, and I was impressed with DeMar last night.
Yeah, that's one of the elements that he is supposed to bring to the party. And so far, one game in, so good.
Smooth and easy, too, Drake.
Yeah,
Smooth and easy. It's part of his game. He doesn't have to force it.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody on the bus about that. They say he plays with, such a rhythm, such a smoothness about him. Doesn't get sped up, doesn't get slowed down. Knows what he wants to do, gets there, and makes the opponent pay. One negative thing, though, I got to bring up, fellas, and it involves DeMar and De'Aaron. If you guys remember when we were at Beach Hut Deli, shout out to them, Troy and the guys out there. I said, I'm interested to see how we perform in the clutch. You got De'Aaron Fox, a clutch player of the year. You got DeMar DeRozan, one of the clutch leaders. Malik Monk is clutch. We know that. But DeMar last night in the fourth quarter was 2 of 7. De'Aaron in the fourth quarter, 0 for 4. So combined, they were 2 of 11 in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to overreact, Kingpin. I'm not going to overreact at all. But I fully expect that to be better because that's one thing I was looking for. How would they look down the stretch? Would it just be, all right, DeMar, your turn. All right, De'Aaron, your turn. And I thought at times it got a little stagnant there. And obviously it's still early. It's just one game. So I'm not going to overreact to their shooting. I fully expect that to be better. Those two guys combined 2 of 11 in the fourth. That's an aberration. That's not who they usually are. And so I'm encouraged going forward that this team will be better in the clutch.
Yeah, Minnesota just shot the ball a lot better than the Kings in that fourth quarter. But you're right, Drapes. I thought the same thing because that's something that, wow, now you got 2 of the best finishers. It just was not to be last night. You have to give a lot of credit, I think, to Minnesota's defense, too.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I thought Malik was good down the stretch. I got to give him a special shout out. He made some big plays, had the and one late. I thought that was massive. And so I'm going to give a shout out to him in the clutch. My third and final Drapes take, and I'm sure you guys talked about him all this afternoon, Keegan Murray.
Yes, sir.
You know, we thought he might be the fourth option or might be lost and not get as many touches. You know what Keegan Murray did yesterday, fellas? He didn't ask for touches. He took the touches. He said, give me that. Keegan Murray said, I'm going to put the ball up. And the thing that I liked about what we saw from Keegan last night, fellas, was not only the 16 shot attempts, not only the 9 3-point attempts, not only the 12 rebounds, it's the way he got the rebounds. He seemed like he was aggressive in everything he did. And so that was a huge bright spot last night. Keegan Murray ain't going to just be sitting in the corner waiting for the ball. He's going out there to get it. That's how he has to play. If he plays like that, because we talked about it before, if he is your fourth option, he might be like one of the best fourth options in the league when you look at it. On Derek White level, on Aaron Gordon level, something like that. And I think that bodes well for the Kings. Shout out to Keegan Murray. I thought he was great. Jay, you know what time it is, big fella.
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
My bad, Dre.
Yeah. You jumped the gun. You
did.
were
I was
so
happy.
You jumped the gun, big
Hey,
fella.
you was talking about Keegan. I've been excited about Keegan all day, man. I demanded you hit the sponsor.
No, he was good last night, man. I like watching the young fella. I thought he was aggressive in everything he did, really. Like, that's what we need to see from him, man.
Yeah. Drapes, I know you got to run here. I'm just curious what you thought of the last, the inbounds play. We heard Mike Brown talking about it. We talked to Jerry Reynolds about it. Jay and I have been talking about it. What did you think of that last inbounds play they ran?
I mean, it was okay. I thought maybe they could have hit De'Aaron Fox coming around the curl there. Might have had an opportunity. Honestly, looking back, I wish Keegan wouldn't have double pumped, maybe drew a foul on that 3-point attempt. I think it was Randall running at him. He got the first defender to fly by and then I think it was Randall coming at him. Maybe you draw some contact. You know, a double pump 3 is hard. But I did listen to you guys a little bit early, Whitey, and I heard you talk about at least they ran a play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They actually ran some action, and it wasn't, executed to the best of abilities, but that happens sometimes, especially first game of the season.
Yeah. Just think how different everything would be around here if the ball had gone in. Just one inch.
Right?
We'd be talking about, it's a team of destiny. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like Doc Rivers said, man, it's a make or miss league. He makes that shot. We're not talking about anything negative. We're not talking about the third quarter, anything. But everybody's in good spirits, man. They're A-okay right now.
Good.
Drapes, what's your duties tomorrow?
Yes.
Dog, I'm on the call.
You on the peak? Okay.
You know how it is. Yeah, it's a big game in L.A. They call me Hollywood Drapes. So I had to come on down here and
Drapes, it's
these self-proclaimed nicknames.
Drapes, is Aaron. I've been sitting here quietly, just patiently waiting for you to do your Drapes takes, and then you got to say that, and I just had to jump in and say, "Bravo, my friend. That was 10 out of 10."
Yeah, real.
Hey, Jay, hold on. Now I got a bone to pick with Emery. I told you I listened for part of the show.
Oh, you did?
I heard you talking about me not coming in to see Kevin Herter that day.
We missed you. You know,
Jay,
you're like an airport. You're like an airport. We have to hear about your arrival and departure at every turn, but you didn't show up.
Nah, I was at my daughter's football game. She was cheerleading. And then you see Nick showed up late, right? Remember, he showed up even late. It was just too much going on in the Draper household that day, man. I missed it, dude. I apologize, man. I'll make an in-store appearance for free next time.
I didn't know I didn't realize I was paying you. The interesting part about it was Kevin and I were sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, this is great. This is wonderful. I'm glad that I'm doing this." But you said Kyle Draper was going to be here, and I was like, "I don't know. Let me call. Let me text." I was panicked. I was hands were sweaty, mom spaghetti, and I said, "I don't know where he is, Kevin." He goes, "I'm going to give this a B+ as far as this event because I don't have Kyle Draper here."
Yeah,
So,
Drapes, enjoy your Friday night in LA. Thanks for your time. Have a great call.
Have a great call.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Kyle Draper from Los Angeles. Wonder how he would have called Malik Stunk last night. And I didn't get to hear Mark Jones. Mark Jones probably had a great call. We were at the game.
On the dunk?
Yeah, on that incredible. Yeah.
That double clutch dunk.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier. Malik is his dunks. He goes from he's on the floor with the ball, and then next thing you know, it's so quick. It's just like, whoa. The surprise element of his dunks is very high because he does it so quickly.
He's got that snap to him. That snap on that dunk. Him and Ant Edwards does the same thing too. So I'm really excited for the season. I was just thinking about this as Drapes was talking. You know, had the Timberwolves not made that trade so close to the beginning of the season with Cat for Randall and DiVincenzo, we'd be talking about them as a top 2 seed, an NBA championship threat team. And the only reason they're not having that discussion is because people are trying to figure out the Julius Randle, DiVincenzo fit into this high caliber team. We played an awesome game last night, guys. We really did as a group. And I'm saying we watched them play, but the Kings played an incredible game last night. They were one shot away. I do agree. I don't know if Jay said it or if Kyle said it, but it was maybe he should have just drew the foul on that 3.
Yeah, that was
pump
Kyle.
faked and then jumped into him.
I hadn't actually thought of that.
Yeah, just jumped into him I'm trying to think who's really good at that. Jumping into the play.
James Harden.
Yeah, exactly. And then because Murray's going to hit 83% of his free throws.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a good option. But, the guy's trying to win. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That's tough, though, because you never know if you're going to get that call,
Especially with the time running down. You don't know if it's going to be a foul after the buzzer.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to
just go up. That was my only thing is just go up. Trust the first shot. Don't pump fake. But, retrospect is always key, man. It's tough. If I knew what I knew then, right?
Yeah. What is going on now with our picks this week? Is this what's going on?
All right. So Drapes just texted me to pick his picks before he hits the road.
Yeah.
As far as he's getting ready to go to get some dinner and do some things. And then as we promoted this week, we're going to do a fourth voice, a voice picker, a fourth picker, excuse me. Oh, I'm struggling
picker.
here. Guest picker. And we're going to have Imran Pilati do it. So not only we're going to test his card knowledge.
More me.
Yeah. We're going to see if he can really make it make sense here.
All right. Our pigskin pickles are coming up. Drive Guys on a Friday. Sactown Sports.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Calm and cool Saturday morning. Temperatures will start in the upper 40s with sunshine. We'll see increasing clouds and afternoon highs in the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Woo! The World Series is underway, Jay. Can you believe it?
I can, even though I can't stand the teams. I can.
Are you excited at all about it just because it's baseball history?
Oh, absolutely. I'm super excited. And I've kind of figured that I'm rooting for the Yankees. That's where I'm going.
There you go. I'm with you.
As I've said, I hate both teams, but my hate is a little more thorough than the Dodgers.
Now, how about this? I know weeks ago we were doing a show, and for some reason you kept veering wildly out of your lane to take shots at my mom. I don't remember why, but my mom was a Dodger fan. So am I disrespecting my dear late mother if I root against her team?
No, because you, as you told a story earlier on during the show, as a friend or someone you knew who disliked the Cowboys, so they went with the Steelers. They were brothers who hated each other in the sports world. No,
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Shouts out to Mama Gleason.
Yeah.
But nope. Got to rock with the Yankees.
Yeah, wherever she is, she's watching the World Series.
Yes.
We're going to make some football picks in a moment here. First, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Shout out to this next caller, because yesterday, before Jay got out there to Beach Hut Deli, before I got out there to Beach Hut Deli, before Drapes or Jose or Simone or even Troy, who runs the place, got out to Beach Hut Deli, Tin was out there. He was out there first. Thank you, Tin, for being out there yesterday. How are you today?
I'm good, Whitey. And for DeMar to inbound to Keegan, now I know people were saying Malik was open. Other people could have been open. However, encouraging for young Keegan to take the shot. For him to have the final buzzer on opening night as the youngest on the floor, that does a lot. And it's okay that he missed it. He could have aired it, and I still would have been proud of him.
Thank you, Tin.
And
yeah.
Out of
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tin. We're proud of you.
I thought Tin had something else.
I did too, but I think he thought we were cutting him off.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you, Tin. There he is. Yeah. We appreciate that, Tin. Right now, I turn things over to Jay. It's time for your Pigskin Pickles.
Yes, sir, Mr. Gleason. We have a new entry this week. One and only, Mr. Emmer Pilati.
Yeah, I didn't get a vote on this, by the way.
Yeah, no, you didn't. This actually was from the people up top.
Can we cut him off the way he cut off Tin?
I didn't mean to cut off Tin.
Tin was like, and I have a second point. You're off. Thanks, Tin. Great to talk to you. I would let Tin talk all hour. Call in tomorrow at True Sports Card Show at 10 a.m.
I had a feeling we were going to need a lot of time with this next segment.
Yes, you are right. You're very true.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Why you do your boy like that?
What do you got, Jay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Week 8, week 7 for the drive, guys. Drapes has texted me all his picks. I probably should get that up. I had the first 3, but I should do a better job. Bad job by me. Emron, we go off Vegas Insiders, just in case you haven't heard. I will give you the rundown, the scoop, the home dog, if you want to take it. You can do. Let me explain the rules real fast.
These are cockamamie rules that make no sense.
Okay, well, you explain it while I get the home dog ready. How about that?
All right. First of all, I believe we all made money for you last week. So I believe Jay was first. No, Drapes was first. Jay was second.
Yeah.
But I believe we all made money last week, Jay.
You are right.
So, yeah.
This is for money?
Well, it's for Sactown Sports Fun Bucks.
Okay, gotcha. I'll go first. I'm going to go with the Rams over the Vikings.
The 20 has Scott Marsh on it. But
I'm going to go with the Rams over the Vikings.
Okay, very good. Very good. You pick the games with the spread. You also get one lock and you get one upset. But the thing is, if you're wrong, it doesn't matter.
These are the consequences of life that I just can't handle.
Yeah.
You can either be wrong or right. Either way, nobody
you get an
cares.
Extra point for a lock or for your upset pick if you hit it. Now back to Jay, your host.
All right. You got the rules? I think you got them. Even if not, we're going to push forward. We start in the 10 o'clock a.m. window, West Coast. Of course, that is. Big spread, fellas. Big spread.
Yeah.
We don't have a home dog. We have a home favorite. That'll be the Detroit Lions, 11.5. 11.5 to take it on. I'm not sure.
Tennessee.
I have to check it up. Yeah, they're taking on Tennessee, but I believe it's Rudolph that's starting this week, not Will Levis, not Mayo on the hot dog man like Emron. With that being said, we will start with a visitor. Who you got? Lions, Titans.
Real quick, you just outed me that I ate a hot dog with mayonnaise last night, which Whitey gave me a fist bump about it last night.
Yes, sir.
11 points is a lot, but that Detroit offense is humming right now. Sounds crazy to take a minus 11, but I'm going to take it with the Detroit Lions. I think they win by 14 points.
Mr. Gleason?
Yeah, Jay, I'm with Emron, and I know there's every reason to think Detroit after last week, maybe there's a letdown, but even with the letdown, it's hard to see Tennessee coming any closer than 11.5. So I'm going with the Lions as well.
I'll stay with you guys. Drapes also took the Lions. We stay in the 10 o'clock window. We have the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
Another big spread.
As they take on the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston. Woo! Mr. Crab, Lobster Man himself from Florida State.
Eating the W.
Home dog, 8.5. Mr. Gleason, we'll start with you, by the way. Mr. Draper, he took the, who we're talking about here? We're talking about the Ravens and the Browns. He took the Ravens.
Okay, I'm also going to take the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, take the Ravens. Mr. Pilati, you got the Ravens or you have?
It's 8.5, right?
It is 8.5. Yes.
I'm going to take the Browns plus 8.5 because I think that they're inspired. They're saying our quarterback went down, even though we may have wanted him to go down. We didn't want him to go down like that. And Jameis is an inspirational figure. He's going to keep it close. They're going to lose by 7, not more than 8.5.
Home dog. I will follow that cab. I'm taking Jameis with a home dog, Mr. Gleason, to cover up that 8.5, sir. I'll take the Browns. We keep it kicking and moving. We take the Packers, who will not be in Green Bay. We'll take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have another home dog. Let's see if anybody jumps out and grabs them. We'll start with you.
Play that song.
Oh, you want that up?
Yes.
You're going home dog?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wait a minute now. You want me to start it off? Let's do it then.
You got 3.5, right?
I have a 4.
4. That's
4.
even better.
Yes.
Yeah. I will take the 4. Hey, home dog. And I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
You're taking Jacksonville plus 4?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Well, they're minus. No, they're plus 4. Yeah.
They're plus.
They're plus 4.
Yes. Yes.
You know how this works, right? Just want to make sure you are betting the right way on this.
Mm-hmm.
I was told it doesn't matter. I'm going to go with Green Bay. Green Bay, I think they win by 10. I like to give the exacts. I think Green Bay kind of kicks their butt on this one. Green Bay by 10.
Every time I pick Jacksonville, they let me down, but here we go again.
Yeah, it's kind of like me and the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will take I'm going to take Green Bay right here myself. I'm making sure I put that on there. That's 4. Excuse me, they're giving up 4. And Drapes has...
Sure, he has Green Bay. Be stunned if he doesn't have Green Bay.
Drapes has where is Drapes? He has got Green Bay. I don't know what form or what pattern did Drapes do this in, because it's not in the way we're doing it. All right, you're
Hollywood. Hollywood's got his own ways of doing things.
Hollywood Drapes,
yeah,
as he calls himself.
We have Indianapolis Colts Anthony Richardson taking on the Houston Texans. Of course, 2 first-round draft picks. Whose card's hotter right now, Emron?
Oh, Stroud for sure.
Easy. All right. The Texans are at home. They are giving up 5, which means the Colts are getting 5 at the moment. Drapes took the Texans. Emron Pilati, you have?
Just to be clear, who's starting, Richardson or Flacco?
That's your job, not mine.
I believe Richardson.
It is. It is Anthony Richardson.
Then
I was kind of putting the pressure on him.
Then I'm going to go with Houston minus 5. I think they win by 7.
Ooh.
It's at home.
Okay.
I'm also going with Houston, Jay.
You're going with Houston?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'm going with H-Town as well. As I'm writing this down, the extra person stalls me out a little more. I see how this goes. We're going to do something over here. That is 5.
Your paperwork
right?
has been flawless, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So we're trying to move forward. The Cardinals, NFC West, Arizona Cardinals, who have the least amount of fans. We've kind of come to that conclusion today. They travel all the way to Miami, MIA, Miami.
And who's back at quarterback for the Dolphins?
That'll be Tua.
Yeah.
Shouts out, please stay healthy, Tua. If nothing else, please stay healthy.
Arizona, one of those confounding teams for me. I can't seem to get them right, but I'm going with the Cardinals and taking the 3.5 in this one.
That'd be 4.5 now. So
4.5.
You cut me off like 10 right there. The Dolphins are giving up 4.5, which is a little crazy. Maybe just the Tua effect. Yeah. The Cardinals on the road. They are getting 4.5. You're taking the Cards?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. Pilati?
The name of my shop is called True Sports Cards. So why wouldn't I go with them? However, I'm looking right now. 3 hours ago, Tua is still listed as questionable. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill. He is also listed as questionable, and he was not at practice today practicing. I'm going to go with the Cards. I think the Cards win by 10. You got Skylar Thompson if Tua doesn't end up playing. Zero confidence.
We are both picking the Cards, which makes you and I
card pards,
yes,
if
sir.
you will.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, do you have room for a third person? Because I'm also taking the Cards. I'll take the 4.5. I just don't trust the Dolphins. I don't know what they're going to bring to the table, so I'll go ahead and take the Cardinals. We move on. Stay in the 10 o'clock window.
Which one was Drapes on that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has the Dolphins.
Of course.
He stands
of course
alone.
He would.
He has the Dolphins. My apologies. I thought
I was going to win.
We move on to the Falcons and your guy's favorite, Kirk Cousins. Maybe not yours, Pilati, but Drapes and Whitey, they love Kirk Cousins for some odd reason, or at least defend him, I should say. They defend him.
Yeah, okay.
The Buccaneers, the Buccaneers are home dogs.
They got no receivers,
South,
Jay.
I get it. I understand. Mike Evans got a hamstring issue. I'll start. I'm already going out there. Come on now. You already know where I'm going. I'm going home dog status, baby. I'll take the 2.5 that the Buccaneers are getting down in Tampa. Shots out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mr. Gleason, you have?
That's interesting because you took, when they played a couple weeks ago in Atlanta, you took Atlanta and you were right on that one.
Yeah. I don't see it today, though.
I want to pick Tampa Bay. It's hard to pick them without the receivers. I'm going Atlanta.
Okay. Mr. Pilati?
Oh, that is rough. I'm looking at the depth chart right now. Obviously,
Sterling Shepard, baby.
Godwin out, IR for the year. Mike Evans out.
Right.
Cameron Johnson out. Oh, who's going to throw to? Raheem Jarrett out. I'm still going Baker Mayfield because I believe in Baker.
That a boy. I like where
they
you're
figure
going.
it out. Look, Baker is no Mahomes, and Mahomes can figure it out, but Baker can figure it out too. That guy is too crafty, and he hustles. It didn't matter. He played for 4 teams in the last 2 years. He still made a way to win. I'm going with Baker.
All right.
Drapes is leaning on Kirk Cousins and his right arm yet again. We keep it in the 10 o'clock zone. We have the New York Jets, who are on the road. They take on Drake May, Gerard Mayo, and the Patriots, who are 7-point home dogs. We'll start with you, Imran Pilati. Who do you have?
I have no faith in Drake May. That guy will throw as many touchdowns as he will throw interceptions. I'm going with the other side.
Going with the Jets. Mr. Gleason.
Yeah, Jay, I'll tell you what, Hassan Reddick is back. Don't know how much he'll play.
Yes, he is.
The Jets are just vastly superior to New England. Give me the Jets, and if you would, please, get that master lock out, would you? Lock it down.
We're going to lock it right there.
That's my lock, Imran.
I see where you're going
lock
there.
it down.
Wait, I just saw the line. Do you have it at 7 or 7.5?
I have it at 7.
I will. It's going to be a push. I'm going to go with New England plus 7.
Ooh.
I'm flipping. I thought that there was a half point there.
No, sir. 7. Thank you, Insider. There we go.
No hook.
Drake takes the Jets. The Jets, Jets. This one a little tough right here, fellas. This one is a little tough.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go board and go against Imran and go Jets, but I'm not a believer in it. I'm not a real believer in it. I could see the Patriots jumping up and snapping them, and like Imran said, turn it into a push.
That's like 80% of the games now for me. Is like, I'll do this, but I don't feel good about it, you know? It's tough this year.
I understand. If Drapes was here, I already know where he's going. I don't even need to look down to look at his text. That's because the Eagles take on Cincinnati in Ohio. Cincinnati is at home. They are not home dogs. They're giving up 2.5. So you got to cover it with the field goal. We'll start with you, Mr. Gleason.
I don't like to do it, but I think Philly is too good of a team to be getting points in this situation. Give me the Eagles and make it my upset special of the day, if you would, please.
Mr. Pilati.
Cincinnati 2.5 is what you had?
Yes, sir.
Is that an upset really on a 2.5?
Well, by our
numbers, by the
our
standards,
rules it
huh?
is. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You're right, but yeah.
I will have this be my lock. I think Philly.
Your lock?
Yeah, I think Philly takes this plus 2.5 pretty easily. Actually, I haven't liked Cincinnati's play this year.
Do you want to make it your upset then and make another
I'm sorry,
one your lock?
my upset lock.
Okay.
I'm
all right,
I'm
yeah.
locked. I'm locked in at being upset.
Gotcha.
This one.
We'll do upset. Makes them more simple. I'll take the Eagles as well. I'm not too afraid of, my guy, Joe Burrow. Not my guy, to be completely honest. I won't use anything right there. We kick over to the afternoon window, fellas.
Here we go.
We have the Bills and we have the Seahawks. They're playing in Seattle, the 12th man, which is null and void when you ask a 49er fan. But with that being said, the Seahawks are at home, and guess what they are? They are home dogs. They're getting 3. Mr. Pilati, do you have the Seahawks or do you have the Bills?
God, I do not want any more NFC West teams to win. So my heart is saying, please, Seahawks lose. I think the Niners in last place right now in the NFC West because the tiebreaks lose.
Tell you what, you don't make a pick, we're all going to be on your show because
that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Yeah, I like Buffalo. They've been playing pretty well. They're playing in Seattle, good weather. They don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go with Buffalo -3 pretty easily. I think they win by 7 or more.
Yeah, I like the Seattle area. I know a lot of really nice people that like Seattle and love the area, but I can't stand the Seahawks. Buffalo is going to make mincemeat of the Seattle defense, which is vastly overrated. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, I'll take the Bills as well, getting 3, and this will be my master lock, fellas. I'll take the lock on the Bills. We kick it on over to Los Angeles, where Drapes is, as he talks about.
That one?
I'm sorry. He had the Bills.
Okay.
The Bills. No. You're not apologizing. That's on me. He's got the Bills. Now we kick it over to Los Angeles, where Drapes is at. As he said, there's a lot of stuff going on. The Chargers game would be one of those things this weekend. They welcome Spencer Rattler and the Saints, talking about being banged up. The Saints are on the road. They are getting 7, a sweet touchdown. Maybe a push, maybe not. Chargers at home, giving up 7. Mr. Gleason, who do you have?
It's a lot of points.
It is.
In a Chargers game, because Chargers don't score a lot of points. But New Orleans is really struggling right now, and I'm going to take the Chargers.
Mr. Pilati.
Isn't that wild that at the first 2 weeks of the season, we thought that the Saints were Super Bowl bound, and now we're going
stop their offense.
Not me, but okay.
Carr is still listed as doubtful with the oblique injury. It doesn't look like he's going to play. Rattler's back. I do not like their offense with Rattler thus far. I'm going to go with although they're at home, it's going to be an away game. I'll take the other side.
Let's see.
Wait, so which team did you pick?
He took the Chargers.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Drapes has got the Saints.
Okay.
He's going New Orleans right there.
All right, Hollywood.
Yeah, this is a tough one. It's a tough one, fellas.
All these games are like this.
Yeah. I'll take the Chargers. I'll lean on the Chargers to win, like you said, Emery. At home, but really on the road.
Yeah.
The 125 window kicks off with the Raiders getting 9 at home dogs. They take on the Chiefs, who the Niners just lost to. Mr. Gleason, we'll start with you. Who do you have?
Raider
Chiefs
fans
or the
don't
Raiders?
like me already, but I'm going Chiefs here.
All right, to cover up that 9.
Mm-hmm.
Mr.
Not
Pilati?
9.5. It's 9.
It's 9.
Okay, great. That's even better.
Plus 9 for the Raiders. If Gardner Minshew is starting, they could probably make it plus 21 and they'd still lose.
Whoa.
Desmond Ridder got signed off of a practice squad. I saw the interview with him. He got emotional. He says, I'm going to show people that I'm worth it. I can play this league. Let's see what happens. Who ends up starting? If it's Gardner Minshew, I still think 9.5 is too low. He's been playing terribly. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. But I don't think that they're going to score a lot, but I just think that the Raiders are just going to score that few.
As much as I hate the Raiders, I've taken them a couple times. They've burned me, just like the Carolina Panthers. The one thing they do, they play the Chiefs well. You know what the Chiefs also don't do? They never cover. I'll take the Raiders. Stay in the 125 window. Bo Nix. Given Bo Nix and the Broncos.
Did we get KD's on that?
Oh, he was Chiefs. All right. I say that. I'm apologize about that.
It's all right.
The Broncos are giving 11 to the Carolina Panthers, who come to Denver, the altitude, mile high. Mr. Pilati, who do you have?
If I'm not mistaken, because of a car accident, which he's okay, but not able to play.
Bryce Young
is back in the starting lineup. I will take, let me just get my numbers here. Right now, Denver is a minus 11. With Bo Nix, that tells you how bad Carolina is. When Bo Nix is the starting quarterback and they're getting minus 11, it could be minus 30, and I would still pick Denver. I'm going with Denver minus 11 because Carolina is just terrible with our boy Bryce Young.
Yeah, I'm with you. This, to me, smells funny, like that game last night smelled funny, and it ended up, everyone went with the Vikings. I did. We were wrong. But I just can't pick Carolina for the reasons you mentioned, Imran. I'm going Denver.
I'm making an adjustment. I just thought about what you said. I'm making an adjustment. Jay, I'm going with Carolina plus 11, and the reason why is because I think this is a 6-3 game.
Okay.
I think this is a 9-3 game. I think there's no touchdowns thrown. I think this is a field goal kicker's fantasy paradise. I don't think that both teams combined score 20 points.
Ooh, okay. You're going Carolina. I'm going Denver, and you are going Denver, correct?
Yeah.
All right, and Drapes is going Denver. 125, stay there. Chicago going to Washington. Battle of the number 1 draft picks. The Commanders right now, this very moment, are home dogs. They're getting 3 points in Washington, taking on the Bears, they've been impressive. I must admit, Mr. Gleason, who are you taking?
Jane Daniels practiced today. We still don't know if he's playing. We might not know till Sunday because of that, and might be Marcus Mariota. I think the Bears get it done here. They're giving 3. I like the Bears.
Ooh, Mr. Pilati.
A trade night, I tried to open a door, kind of like body slamming it because it was stuck. I hurt my rib. I've been complaining about it to my family the entire week.
I saw you grab your rib last night.
I'm such a wimp. Okay, Jaden Daniels' injury is on his rib. He's about to play in an NFL game. I don't, even with him listed as questionable, I still don't think he is as effective as he normally is. I'll take the Bears -3. -3. I think Caleb's been figuring things out. He's getting in touch with Adunze now. He knows what he's doing with his receivers. I'm liking the Bears more and more. I'm going to go with the Bears. I think they win by 10.
Ooh. You know where I'm going. Going home dog. I'm taking the true number 1 quarterback. This past offseason should have been drafted number 1. I'll take even a banged up JD. That'll be my guy. I'll take 3. Drapes also is rocking with me. He's taking Washington.
All right.
Also on the back end of that. Now we are done. We kick to the real deal. The real deal, fellas. We're talking about Sunday evening.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
The bang, bang Niner gang as they take on the Cowboys right now at this very moment. Dallas is coming in as a 4-point underdog. 4-point underdog. Who do you have, Mr. Gleason?
I got the San Franciscan 49ers in this one. Jay?
49ers. I'll take the 49ers.
Great opportunity for a big bounce back.
I agree with you. I got the 49ers as well. Mr. Pilati.
I'm looking at one thing here. Not that it's going to change my mind, but I'm looking right here. It says that Jennings is ruled out.
Yes,
so he is
Juwan Jennings is out. Yes.
Juwan Jennings is out. And then we've got Debo questionable, Kittle questionable.
Yep, foot.
This is Niners. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to go against them, but man, who's he going to throw to? And the balls keep getting batted down. And
all right,
I love the Niners, so it doesn't matter. Niners.
I'll take the 49ers also. Drapes is also taking the 49ers. Our last game of the slate, the New York Giants on Monday will be visiting Russell Wilson. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're right. That's it. My bad.
All right.
I'll be ready to go.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Emran.
My pleasure.
Yeah, you were sweating that out a little bit, huh?
I don't. It's like the Kings game. If I was to ever bet, which I don't anymore, but if I was to ever bet, I would bet the Kings every single time because I could just never bet against my team. And when the Niners are your team, you just don't. You're looking at all the injury reports. You're looking at all the people that are out, and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just do it. And I feel like a homer, and I am, but
yeah.
You just don't go. You just don't pick a Cowboy.
Right.
You just don't pick a Cowboy. I would rather lose the bet than say Cowboys.
Now Emran's going to Vegas tonight, right? Tomorrow. Oh, so Jay, if he were to make one legal wager on an NFL game, what would you advise him to do?
Give me the Denver Broncos.
Oh, he's not going to do that because he went the other way.
No, I would take the Broncos and Carolina on the under. I really don't. Bo Nix threw for 60 yards the other day. He threw for -6 before halftime. How do you do that? Like, you literally have to throw it backwards and have them be tackled.
Got a game night tomorrow, the Kings and the Lakers. And, of course, get your game day started tomorrow with Emran Pilates, True Sports Card Show.
I'll be live.
Live tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. Infinity Sports Radio's next. Enjoy the World Series. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Calm and cool Saturday morning. Temperatures will start in the upper